What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? How you guys doing? It's Friday, and we live. Kenny, are you back? You back? I think you're back. I don't know if he's back. Vegas girl, what's going on? X1, how's it going? Who else is in the side chat over here? Trini, what up? Ride to Victory in the house. You have to be somewhere at 7 in the morning. Man, you can do it. Just need a couple hours of sleep.
Who's that?
You'll be good. Ride to Victory. Tim Kreitz, what up, brother? Oh, you got an echo. Echo.
Can you hear me?
I can. All right, man. How's everyone doing today, this week? The Ultimate Weeaboo, what up? Pats fans, what is going on? DTD, what up, brother?
Bro.
Can you hear me, Kenny? I don't think Kenny can hear us. Kenny, we can hear you.
I can hear you.
But we can hear you. So as long as we can hear your voice.
You can hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
You can hear my voice.
Yes, we can.
That's fucking
Does it make you happy when you hear
You got crappy headphones?
No, I just I'm hooking my wireless to my computer. Sometimes it doesn't work right. Give me a second.
8-Ball Moto, what up? Andrew Morace. How do you pronounce that? Morace? Not sure how to pronounce that. What's going on? So how has everyone's week been? Hopefully everyone's had a good week. It's Friday. I'm so thankful it's Friday. Just chilling, relaxing. Didn't go to LA this weekend though. But it's all good. We chill here. It might be a little bit loud though. That is like a cereal flavor.
Why does it smell like vanilla cookies?
No, it's like cereal. It's called Rainbow Road. I think it's like
Is that what you're
Cheerios.
smoking right now?
No, not yet.
If it smells like vanilla, I'm gonna make you throw it out.
Just like it looks. I'm impressed. You nailed it. Oh, sweet. Maurice. I'm impressed. I freaking got it. Back road.
Hey boys, I'll be right back.
What
I lost a beer.
Oh, how do you lose? How do you do that? All right, man.
I don't know. Here, beer.
Your beer's not coming back. It's not listening.
No, what a dick. Hold on.
You put that APB out
Yeah.
for the PBR. An APB for the PBR. What did you get, X1? What did you get? What's so special? I don't know if Fred's going to make it today, honestly. He is still in Oklahoma, which means it's probably super late there right now. But I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. He's got the link. So what did you get this special, X1?
Playing with a tiny little dog.
Yeah, he's in Oklahoma, and all I keep seeing is pictures of a damn little dog.
I just like my dog.
I know. What's up, Jester on 2? How you doing?
Found it.
You found it? Did it try to run away?
It fell over under my weight bench.
Oh, so it wasn't open.
No.
Oh.
Thank God.
Yeah, that would have been.
Since Daddy doesn't have beer, call 911.
How you doing today? How's your week?
Talking to me? I'm on a different. Are you talking to me or somebody else?
You.
Oh, thought maybe you're talking to Ken. Good, man. How about yourself? Oh,
It's a good week.
good
What
week.
is up, Tim?
What's going on? You guys hear me?
Yeah,
Nope.
it's loud and clear.
Yeah. All
Oh,
right.
you get X1. You got an XJ600. Nice.
Oh, those are great
your-
bikes, man.
Your first motorcycle. Congratulations. Welcome.
In the States, don't they call that the Seika?
What's going on? Who bought what?
The Seika
X1 got the XJ600.
What?
His first motorcycle.
Nice, dude.
Cool, man.
Welcome
Yeah,
to the
make
club.
sure
It's called the
Make sure you
Seika.
got 600. Yeah, or make sure you got full coverage.
I'm trying to bring up the chat right now.
Oh man, if he's got an XJ600, it's probably 20 years old.
Oh,
they
it's
started making
older.
those,
Yeah,
like,
it's
in the
2004,
90s or
right?
something?
The last year.
Yeah.
Maybe like early 2000s.
Yeah.
What
well,
year did you get it? Oh, the Seika 2, that's what he said.
Still a
Is
fucking
it
cool
nice?
bike, though.
Are those
yeah.
carbs?
Yes.
Oh,
Nice.
What year is yours, X? Be interested to know. Yeah, I think they were all carbureted. I don't know if any of them made it into the fuel injection era or not. They were great motorcycles, man.
What up, Leaky Bike? How you doing? Welcome. Damn, Tim, I feel like it's been forever since I talked to you.
It has, man. I've just been. I had a. I was on the road last weekend playing a show, and then the weekend before that, we were playing a local show here just here in town. Actually, it just hasn't been working out for me. Got my sea legs on the new job and all that, so I'm not so worn out in the evenings and on Friday nights. You know how it is, like the first month of a new job, you're just mentally exhausted the whole time. Yeah. But now, you know, I'm learning how to do it, and it's getting really easy. So, dude, I'm cruising now. So, yeah, hopefully I'll be back into the pocket.
Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, it's fun, man. It's really good. And it's a really good company, so I'm just really happy. So
That's good.
We might be looking at a 4th edition to the stable here this coming year.
Hell yeah!
We'll see.
What did I do?
Just
You gotta learn now. You gotta learn forever, dude.
Well, what I need to do is I need to restore my old 1977 Bonanza mini bike is what I need to do. I've got it sitting out in the back. Yeah, that's what I should do next, actually. You're absolutely right. Mini bike time.
I would love to see you on a fucking mini bike fucking around.
And it's my first motorcycle I ever had. I got it in 1978 when I was 8 years old.
Oh, man, that would be freaking awesome.
Yeah, so that's going to be – that. My wife and I have talked about that. She's like, you got to get that thing going and start riding it around, you know, or at least get the restoration done on it. And I was like, you're right. So now all this mini bike stuff's been coming up. So
what is it, a 125, you say?
It doesn't have an engine in it right now, but it can be any engine that I want, basically. But it's outfitted. The motor mount plate is outfitted for like an old school Briggs and Stratton or a Tecumseh or something like that.
I would put a 50 in it and then go register the fucking thing and do your fucking adventures on it sometime.
I don't know if I could do that or not, actually. That would be really cool to do. But what I definitely do want to do is get it running and just get it going. I think what I'll do is put maybe a 3 or a 5 horsepower Briggs and Stratton on it, or maybe a Tecumseh or something like that. And then just kind of, you know, make it all blingy and ridiculous looking. Like I might do it in like a real heavy gold flake paint.
like lowrider style. Like,
do you think it's got the room for like a Baja 250 or Baja 200 engine in it?
I don't know. I think what it amounts to is the width and the geometry of the motor mount plate, because I know. Yeah. I know for sure that it will fit any of the old school Briggs and Stratton's engines, because that's what Bonanza originally designed them to run on, with a centrifugal clutch, you know. So I'll just have to work all that out. I'm probably going to have to machine some races, because somehow or another I can't find my old wheel races for some reason. Anyway, I'll cross those bridges when I come to it, but it can be made to work. It ain't no thing.
Yeah, those Baja engines. Those Baja engines are Indian, and they're. I wouldn't be surprised if they're straight up cast out of Coke cans, man.
That's funny.
I'm sure they're a weird fit.
Yeah. I have been kind of toying with the idea of getting an FZ10, and so I went and looked at one, and I was like, this kind of sucks. I mean, like it looks good from a distance.
So big, man.
Yeah, it looks good from a distance, and then the closer you get to it, the worse it looks. And then you sit on it, and it's completely fuckered. Like, it's hard to explain, man. It just doesn't.
The tank is kind of awkward.
The tank is very awkward. That's what a big part of it is. Now that you mention that, the tank is just shaped weird.
Yeah,
and
it's like they tried to keep they had to make it bigger. And everything bigger for the engine or whatever, but it's like they tried to keep the shape from like the FZ09 and the FZ07, but it just doesn't fit. It just doesn't look good when you just make it bigger.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like it flows into like the instrument
Yep.
panel and the front and all that. It looks like they built two different motorcycles and just slapped them together.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was real disappointed with that, and it wasn't terrible.
So they kind of broke it. Back to the title where everything's broken.
Everything is broken. Yes.
Paul McCartney.
Well, that was sort of a lame attempt at Bob Dylan, but thank you. Now,
yeah, I got Paul McCartney.
But I tell you, the main thing, Ghost, is that I mean, I might change my mind. Like, it wasn't serviced, the bike wasn't serviced, so I wasn't going to ask for a test ride because I knew they wouldn't do it. I mean, getting on top of that, that torque tuned R1 motor, it might change my mind about it if I ever get a chance to test ride it. But just walking around and touching it and sitting on it and trying to figure out how I would sit on it, I was like, man, I think I'm just going to wait for Kawasaki to come out with the Z900 RS and see what I think of it, because I'm a much bigger Kawasaki fan historically than a Yamaha fan. It could end up being the Z900 RS. We'll see.
The Ultimate Weeaboo wants to know what you think of the Triumph Bonneville for a first bike.
It's okay. I mean, don't misunderstand that Bonneville can get you into trouble. I mean, it does have almost 70 horsepower. So, I mean, it's not a fast bike by, say, sport bike standards, but it has plenty of power to get you into trouble. But
wouldn't it be more like a 650 kind of range? Because I think the 650s are about 70 horsepower.
I know that my Bonneville to the ground puts like about 60-something horsepower, like maybe 65, 67 horsepower with 50 foot-pounds of torque. So it's comparable power-wise to an FZ07.
Okay.
But it's heavier. It's way heavier. It's like 100-something pounds heavier, and it's geared way differently.
But you also get a really good sure footing on something like that.
Exactly. So I think if you're old enough to know that the throttle turns both ways, and you're, you probably would do really well with a Bonneville as a first bike.
How much does the FZ07 weigh? Do you know?
My FZ07 with that real light exhaust on it, with a full tank of gas and full of oil, weighs 375 pounds.
Damn, dude. I wish I could have went.
That's lighter than my bike.
I should have went for the FZ07. This fucker's heavy as shit.
It's so light, you just throw it around like a dirt bike, dude. It's so great.
Man.
That's crazy.
That's not very. That's not much heavier. That's only like 80 pounds heavier than a Honda Road.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, but of course now, if you ever get up close and personal with an FZ07, you realize every freaking thing on it's made out of plastic except for the motor and the frame. Yeah. So
I like the Bolt.
I like the Bolt too.
They're nice looking little bikes.
I mean,
I wouldn't say little, but
if you were going to get a light cruiser, like something in the Harley 883 Super Low category, you would be a fool not to at least go test ride a Bolt, because those are cool bikes.
I rode one. They're really comfy, man.
Yeah.
They look great.
The only bike that I rode that I felt kind of awkward on was the Boulevard. That thing was just too big.
Yeah. Yeah. So
S90.
My main thing with a cruiser is that I like it to be. I like the Sportster influence on cruisers. So I like it to be narrow.
I do. Yeah, me too.
You know what I mean? It needs to be narrow and kind of tall, and it needs to have like mid controls on it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
You need to fucking buy a street rod. Or rent one. I just want to see your opinion on it.
I might do that for SCMM. I might do a street rod 750 for SCMM this year. We'll see this coming year. Yeah.
I want to try to trailer it and do cross country on a trailer, because I would just want to bring my bike.
Mm-hmm. Well, I know this year I'm flying in, and I ain't going to make that drive. I ain't going to do anything. I'm going to fly in. I'm going to rent a bike, and I'm just going to stay for 4 or 5 days.
So what is an Eagle Rider? There's an Eagle Rider 5 miles from.
Yeah, the Eagle Rider where I rented from for SCMM 2015 is in Palm Desert, with just a few miles.
Yeah. Did you say you're not going to ride during SCMM?
I am going to ride. Yeah, I'm going to rent. Okay. I'll either rent another Sportster or I'll rent a street rod 750.
Nice.
Hell yeah, dude! I just want to see your opinion on that. It's like I don't believe from what I've heard, like from what you've said, even tonight, I don't believe that the street rod is better than the FZ07. I mean, come on, like 150 pounds difference, no, 200 pounds difference, and same gearing.
Yeah, I don't really know why they're. I can't figure out why they keep putting the FZ07 and the Street Rod 750 toe to toe. Like, it's not a good comparison to me.
They're two different bikes.
They're two completely different bikes.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you straight up, man, I love the Street Rod 750. Just the sound of it and the look of it and the riding position. I know I would like that motorcycle.
You like
What
that
up?
sound?
What up, Lisa? How's it going?
Yeah, you need to get yours uncorked and get it sounding badass, man.
Yeah, it sounds terrible.
Yours probably, if you still got that stock exhaust on it, I bet it sounds like a sewing machine.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I want to?
Quite as hell.
You know what I want to test ride? Is it the new Z650? I think it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't seen
They
that.
look good.
Yeah, they look really good.
Ninja has one.
Yep, she does.
It's beautiful, man. It looks really good, and it looks
redesigned.
really comfortable too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for
What's
a
it called?
parallel twin sport bike, man, that there is a lot of good stuff happening in that category right now.
Z650?
You know,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Z650. You know, I'm kind of disappointed. I mean, it seems like sports bikes are kind of going to the wayside a bit with all
They
the
are.
naked bikes. And
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, everything's coming out naked as hell.
Well, for one thing, man, it used to be that you could go and buy a brand new super bike right off the showroom floor for $9,000. You can't do that anymore.
Mhm.
And
About
people,
14,
people don't want to spend $14,000-$15,000 on an R1 or a GSX R1000 or whatever. They're just not going to do it. In fact, I think people are going more toward Harleys at this point. I mean, if you're going to spend $15,000, a lot of guys are like, I might as well get a Harley and see if I like that.
yeah.
So
That's why I jumped in. I mean, like with me, it was a peer.
Hey,
All my
might want to not share your screen.
oh yeah, don't share the link.
There you go. There you go. What was I gonna say? I forgot. I completely forgot what I was gonna say. But yeah, no. Well, I was gonna say that's like what I paid for my Triumph. I look back, and I'm like, fuck, I could have got an R1.
But I think that, man, it's more. I don't think people care about going 190 miles an hour the way they did 10 years ago. And also, the motorcycle sales volume in America is about half of what it was 10 years ago. And so the manufacturers know they have to figure out a way to make affordable bikes that have good performance that young people can buy. And that's why you're seeing the FZ07 and the FZ09 and the Z650 and the Z9.
Well, I think another thing is here's something, and this may not be 100% true, but the fact that manufacturing on engines and tolerances and quality has increased so much. There's so many more. There's so much, or there's so many used bikes out there.
Yeah,
like a lot. You know.
Oh yeah.
And so people have all these options, to go get a used bike. Where I just saw a used bike. It was like a 2015 something, and it only had like 1,000 miles on it. And I'm like, this is crazy.
Was
the
that the
R3?
R3
Yeah, it was the
brother was
R3.
talking about?
Yeah, it had like 1,000 miles on it. I'm like, are you kidding me? But there's all kinds of bikes like that now.
Yeah, R3s seem to hold their value really well, but I think going back like when I bought my first bike, if you went online and you found a bike that had like more than like 10,000 miles on it, that was like considered
A lot.
junk.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah, that was at the end of it.
Baker proves that whole fucking theory wrong, man. You know how many fucking miles on the 636, the 636 has?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like red
miles.
Oh shit, does it? Fuck.
Yeah.
Because I know red is around 50,000 or something on his.
But didn't he have his some kind of major engine work done? Like,
he had some top end problems. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I rode my 06 CBR to almost 40,000 miles.
Oh yeah.
And
Dude, I'm almost
fucking champ. That bike was awesome.
There's a guy in Tupelo, Texas, who put 100,000 miles on a Suzuki Bandit.
Right. I mean,
Bandit 1200.
I'm almost at 30,000 on my bike.
And like I think on newer bikes too, like fuel injected fucking brand new fucking bikes, you're looking at 150, 200,000 miles if you treat it right.
Yeah.
Hey, I started doing my own maintenance.
Well, good. Yeah, keep the fluids clean,
Actually,
keep
Kenny
the
did it.
valves adjusted,
Yeah.
and pretty much they'll run forever.
Yep.
I was gonna say actually Kenny did it.
No.
my chain and sprocket, he pretty much did all of it.
Oh. You helped.
Yeah. You're like, that's cute. You know.
Yeah.
I did my own change though. And,
What the hell was that?
uh-oh.
Man, somebody's got tons of background noise. I've been trying to figure out who it is.
It might be me.
It's probably you, Ghost.
People talking.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You got a wrestling
Is
match
it like
going
really
on.
loud?
It's
No.
almost as loud as you.
Really?
Yeah.
Look, this is what I don't get. This is like this is just a headset, and this mic is picking up everything.
Yeah.
That's a
I gotta
cell
put
phone
a-
mic, right? It's like omnidirectional.
Well,
I
it,
gotta
may
put
be
it-
it might be the mic on the computer that's working though. You need to go to your audio setting.
Oh, that's a good point.
Tap on your because it depends on what kind of
Yeah,
adapter that thing has. If it's a three conductor or 4 conductor. So
Let's go recording devices.
and then tap on your laptop and
Oh
tap
no,
on your mic.
it's off. Oh, microphone array. Oh, maybe it's all right. I might lose my audio.
Okay.
Wait, no, that's not. Hold on.
Oh, hey,
Dude,
guys,
I've been-
I'm gonna mute myself while I do
I'm
this.
so tired.
Dude, I've been later, man.
Did you say you were dipping?
Yeah, I'm over on East Coast time. I got here yesterday, so my clock is way off.
Oh,
Plus, I've
okay.
been dealing with the baby. She's jet lagged as fuck. So
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Cool.
shit.
Well, I understand, man. Have a good night.
yeah, I'll check in on you guys. I'll be here for another like 2 weeks. So
Okay.
next week
Later,
will probably be better. All right, deuces, guys. Be safe.
All right, man. Have a good night.
Dude, some friends of Whelan's
Quaylen.
text me today and said they're at the Dragon, and I was sitting there with my fucking dick in my hand waiting on the goddamn bus to get home, and I couldn't go anywhere because of kids.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was like, well, how long are you going to be here? And he said he's riding all day, but I didn't kind of.
Isn't that just like 2 hours from you?
less?
Dude,
If you're on a bike, it's.
I would be there every free day off I had. Tim Christ,
here's the thing.
does the valve adjustment strictly mileage or should age be a factor? I would just go by what the manual says or what the shop manual or what the owner's manual says. So like on my big bore Kawasaki, my big Kawasaki 1200 sport bike, you're supposed to do them every 7,500 miles. So the first time I checked the valves, they were all in spec and I was fine. But the second time I had to replace 3 shims. And so, and then the time after that, I didn't have to do any, so you never know what's going to happen. And so you may get away with it, you may not, but whatever your interval is, and the manufacturer will have an interval for valve checks, you need to do it at that time. You may have to replace shims, you may not, but I would definitely make sure to check the clearances at whatever the recommended interval is. Age is not a factor to answer the second question. A bike can sit with 500 miles on it for 10 years and never be ridden. What gets the valves out of spec is the movement of the valve train over miles. So as it operates. So yeah, it's definitely should be done via mileage and via the interval recommended by the manufacturer. So there you go.
Yeah. And now you know.
And now you know.
Yeah, it's definitely the mic from the fucking laptop. It's not recognizing the mic from the headphones.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Hey, John, I signed you up for. It's the awesomest fucking text. It's amazing.
Cat facts.
Yeah, dude. Have you been enjoying it?
Oh yeah, I love Cat Facts. Cat Facts has been great. I've learned so much.
Yeah.
But I went ahead and signed you up for Cow Facts.
Cow fact. Did you know a moo comes from a cow's vocal cords?
And I
Did you know a cow has 2 stomachs?
I signed you up for macro mushroom tip. weekly.
Dude, I did cat facts to all you fuckers for a week straight from Google Voice.
Is that how you did that?
Yeah, dude, I just went to Google Voice and then typed in everybody's fucking email phone number. And I was just like, let's just fuck with everybody.
Oh, my God.
Cat facts. To cancel, reply per.
Reply per.
Oh, my God.
One cat
Billy
fact.
strikes again.
One cat fact I sent to everybody was, dude, it fucking killed me. Did you know Siamese people that were working on the American Railroad kept Siamese cats for catching rats for them to eat for dinner?
I do not doubt that for 1 second.
I don't. You think so? I was just fucking.
Because the Burmese people who lived down the street from me were shooting squirrels out of people's trees and taking them into their house and skinning them and eating them.
Squirrel stew's good though.
Well, I like squirrel too, but here in Texas, you got a closed season on squirrel. You can't just go hunt squirrel anytime you want.
No doubt. I didn't know that.
Really? I would imagine there's just like rodents.
Yeah, me too. Like rabbits, like jackrabbits and cottontail rabbits in Texas, there's no closed season you can do there. It's always open season. But for some reason, there's a closed season on squirrel, and it makes no sense to me.
Hunting season on squirrel, so there's like extreme meth head rednecks somewhere. It's like squirrel season. We gotta get our license for the squirrels.
Yeah. So one of my Masonic brothers is a game warden, and I called him and I was like, "Hey, here's what's happening over here." And he was like, "Oh no, they can't do that." He said, "There's the season on squirrels closed like 3 months ago. They can't be doing that." And I said, "Well, here's where they live. You might want to go have a talk with them." So. I don't know if he did or not. But.
Well, like here in Tennessee, like no, here in the national park, anything native is a fucking felony to kill it.
Wow. Oh yeah, inside of a national park, yeah, dude. We had a national park ranger tell us one time, or a national park ranger one time told Cliff at the Guads that no one should be allowed into a national park unless they're a member of the Sierra Club. That's what a bunch of pencil pushing leftists is running the national parks, man.
I know in Vegas,
that's crazy.
When I moved to Vegas, it's the first time I've ever seen this. I was in Vegas for like a month, and everybody's like, "Oh, we got to take Billy to Red Rock, get him familiar with it." And you had to pay a toll to get in to the national park. You like had to pay this motherfucker at a goddamn fence.
Yeah, that's fairly normal.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, this park's not like that. You just fucking go in and out of
the state parks here in Texas are kind of hit or miss like that. Like they'll say, "Hey, park admission is $2," or it's $5 for the day, but you may get up to the gate or up to the booth and they'll go ahead, go on in. It's free today. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. We have the Silver Strand Beach here that you have to pay to get into as well.
I'd be like, "Hey, man," I like squeeze my tits together. Be like, "Are you sure you need to pay?"
Yeah.
Who do you think you are? You think you're a red one or something?
Right. I like squeeze my chocolate chips together. Like, ooh, chocolate chips.
Yeah, I bitch about a lot of things as a libertarian because that's what we do, apparently, is just bitch about everything all the time. I guess any political philosophy will do that. But I will say that
I hate librarians.
Yeah, exactly. I will say, man, that in Texas, our state parks are so freaking good. I don't mind paying $3 or $4 to get in, man. I don't mind the least little bit. They do a good job of keeping them clean, and they're always family friendly. There's no bad elements in them. Like you don't have to worry about wandering into a state park and there's a drug deal going down, generally speaking. We just have really good state parks here. So I don't mind kicking in a few bucks every time I go if I have to.
Hey, Tim, Jester, there ain't no vanilla chipples happening.
Yeah, no.
Mine are strawberry chipples.
Do what now, Billy?
Do you know if Cut and Shoot got fucked by the hurricane? Because I got a friend with the elephant farm there, Bill Swain, and I tried to call him during the hurricane, and he never answered, and I haven't heard from him since.
Where is that located? Is that east of Houston or south of Houston?
Southeast.
So it's okay. So it's right there, man, dude. Then that means it's right there on the beach, basically.
Well, it's inland from the beach, like in the pines.
Okay, yeah, that's a good question. I would imagine that he got hit pretty freaking hard. What the weird thing about that part of Texas was that it all had to do with elevation, land elevation. So, I mean, there was a huge brunt from the hurricane itself, even though the eye hit just east of Corpus Christi at a place called Rockport, where I used to live, oddly. But I think that the main thing that would have happened there, if it's a low-lying area, is there would have been massive flooding. So if he had any kind of an animal farm in a low-lying area, there's no telling what he ended up having to do.
Well, I'm sure that means his house is probably fucked. Like 80% chance his house is fucked. But they had elephants, so you just get on the elephants, right, and then march away into the sunset like fucking Tarzans.
That's so awesome.
I hope.
There used to be.
Oh, go ahead. Good.
Oh, I was just gonna say that there used to be this motovlogger. He doesn't do stuff very much, but like 3 or 4 years ago, I used to watch him quite a bit. His name was called Turbo Green. Do you guys remember Turbo Green? He's in India, and in his intro video, it shows him riding down the road, and he has to slow down to go around a guy riding down the street on an elephant. I just thought that was so funny.
And elephants are like super like no, is it elephants or is it cows that are religious, like they can't
yeah, in Hinduism, yeah, cows.
Yeah.
I was thinking elephants for some reason, but it's cows. Okay.
Like, saw the vlog where I discovered this, probably didn't, but I fucking found a gas station that I really liked, and the only reason I really like it is because the beer is cheap and you don't have to put a pin in when you fucking swipe your goddamn card. So they were serving hamburgers. They're Hindus that own the place and running the place that was fucking selling hamburgers. And I think that's so bitchin'. They just don't give a fuck.
Hey man, welcome to America. Adopt our ways. Sounds like they're going to make great Americans. I love that.
Definitely, man. Dude had like an element shirt on, and she's all dressed in fucking like top and shit. I'm all about it.
You guys see the whole WPA2 thing?
I don't know.
No.
So there's this new vulnerability they called crack that affects all WPA2 or affects the WPA2 protocol, which is what pretty much everyone's using for wireless protection, right?
I am. Absolutely.
Oh, that's pretty much the top you can get, but there's a vulnerability that allows people to basically get in between and crack the handshake and basically decrypt of the
your Wi-Fi passwords.
Well, not your Wi-Fi passwords, but password, like anything that you're sending over the air, they're able to capture data out of it now.
Jeez.
Which is huge because WPA2 is kind of like the de facto standard, right? For anything really.
Integral. It's supposed to be.
Jeez, I'm glad I'm hardwired on most of my stuff. Well, I'm not on everything.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Is like if you can hardwire, go hardwire.
Yeah, I'm hardwired on this computer I'm on right now, but my laptops, obviously, I'm not hardwired on.
Okay.
And my televisions, I'm not hardwired on. 3 smart televisions, 3 laptops, 2 tablets, 2 smartphones. Jeez, man.
The salty writer, you see that?
Bareback internet.
Yeah. It's like the 80s all over again.
He ain't using
I've never, you know what, dude? That's funny. Salty Writer also said, I've never eaten elephant. I've never eaten elephant too. I would really like to do that.
I'll try anything once.
Hell yeah.
It's probably super gamey.
Man, I've been discovering the delicious meats of the world, man. Because I'm on this ketogenic diet. That's how I've lost all this weight. And and I'm almost at my target weight. I only have like 8 pounds to go. So
all you guys are on that diet, huh?
Yeah, dude, because it works. Oh my god.
Just take a shit. Dude, Tim, just take a shit, man. You fucking met your weight at that point. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm shooting for 153, so I got about 8 pounds to go. But
153. God damn, you're gonna be a twig, man.
yeah, that's at the lower middle of my BMI. So
how tall are you?
I'm 5'9".
And 153 is like where you should be. That's fucking tiny.
Yeah, 5'9", 153. Yeah, I'll be pretty lean, but I ain't exactly fat. I never was fat.
You're pulling a fish.
But what I did, I am pulling a fish. That's exactly what I'm doing. But I got up to 176 pounds, and I was like, man, I feel like shit. I don't look very good. It's like you can see it in my face. I'm starting to kind of get that little spare tire thing going on, and I was like, I don't want that. So yeah, 153 is my goal. I'll be there by this time next week. By the time I play my Halloween show, I will be at probably close to 153.
Damn, wow, that's good stuff, and that's crazy.
Just I do, yeah. I just saw that.
I was 153 in 8th grade. That's hilarious.
Dude, I'm 175, but I got down to 163, and I was like, "Oh, let's start working out." So
I'm about 160 right now. 161. I was 160.5 this week. So
man, that's crazy.
I don't have too much more to go. But man,
5'9". Shit.
I was up there. Now I'm down. I'm like at 195 right now.
Well, I tell you, man, my whole point in bragging about all that stupid shit was to say that I've discovered the delicious meats of the world on this ketogenic eating.
That's what I keep seeing, man.
So, man, I've discovered like capicola and peppered salami and all this boar's head, like pepperoni, like all different kinds of pepperoni. All the boar's head stuff is so good. I've discovered all these fantastic cheeses like Dubliner cheese. And, oh, man, it's just opened up a whole world of deliciousness. And you just eat it and you keep losing weight. And you're like, this is delicious. How am I losing weight eating this? But it works. It's great.
I think that's a great diet for a Brazilian barbecue.
Yeah.
Dude, you guys are invited if you can make it down here. That is, I'm doing like a huge housewarming bash in about a week. It's a country crab boil. Or, country boil. You know what I'm talking about?
Is it going to be over a weekend?
Sure.
Oh, okay. Well,
actually, you're fucking A right. It's on a Wednesday or a weekend, because that's when I'm off.
Oh, okay. Well,
I know you can't make it.
I can't make it if it's Halloween weekend. I can't make it because I've got a 2-night show, a big 2-night show. And in fact, one of the nights is already, all the reservations have sold out for it. But
I just wanted to extend the invite.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
Cool. I wish I had cash.
But just so you know, in the future, Billy, I'm not opposed to flying in for the weekend just to hang out. You know what I mean? If you're going to have some kind of a party or something. Now, somebody will have to come get me and lug me around for the weekend, but I'm not opposed to doing that.
Right, that would be cool. I'd love to go visit.
No one would. You don't need anybody to come get you if you're coming to see me. I come get you. That's fucking rules.
Okay, well, that's fine. I figured you would,
Dude, yeah, of course. You tell me, I got an Uber over there. I would be fucking angry. Dude, I just got my keys in my hand, you faggot.
So,
what up, Ride to Victory?
Yeah, what up, RTV? All the good people from our world, from our section of the motorcycle world, all the good people are here. Busted Nucks. Mrs. Peaches is out there. Ride to Victory X1 still hanging in. There's Serafina is up there. It's looking good, man.
I'm always
Jester on 2.
I'm always impressed, and not only impressed, always humbled when I see some of you guys out there that stick around for like an entire live stream. Like even when it goes 8 hours, some of you guys will just be there for 8 hours, and I'm like, I'm always like, holy shit. Oh yeah, over and over again. And that's one of the things that is honestly kind of kept from my side, kept this stream going, because sometimes you get like, you're like, oh, we got to do the hangout again. I got to do the hangout again. But then you're like, oh, but I know, these people are going to be there, waiting. So it's always awesome to see that.
Yeah, I've gotten to where the only 2 live streams I do now are Super Faggot Force hangouts and the other guys hangouts. I don't do any more. And it's not because I'll jump into some of these every once in a while if I get an invitation to say hi and hang out for just a little bit. But as a regular, it's just these two namely because it got like this super saturation of hangouts there for a while. And I was doing so many hangouts that my wife was like, "You do those all the time." And I was like, "No, I don't." And then I stopped and I thought, "Oh, fuck yeah, I do them all the time." So I appreciate seeing, all the,
very much,
supporters.
Man. I get
supporters of these.
I totally get where you're coming from, Tim, because it is hard to say, but my favorite people to talk to that I've kind of ever met online and then met in person and shit after that. Actually, the biker community, motovlog community is the only community that I've ever like made friends with online and then met in person.
Yeah.
And Friday night and Monday night, everybody narrows down their fucking favorite friends. I'm sorry to say that. I'm an honest person.
It's gonna happen.
The best people I've ever met, man, are on Monday and Friday.
Yeah.
I
love you. I love you so much. I'm gonna lick you right now, but you're fucking, you're fucking.
I'm the same way, man. It's kind of funny how this all kind of started out as this weird experiment of me doing this YouTube channel. And while my YouTube channel never really became of anything, I mean, it's just now getting close to 9,000 subscribers after 3.5 years. So I know my channel's never going to be shit, but I don't care anymore because I really enjoy making the content for the people who are they loyally wait for it. And if I ever thought about quitting, I'd be really guilty because there's like 1,000 people of my 9,000 subscribers who would be heartbroken if I ever stopped making videos. And then on top of that, I start meeting you guys over the past 3 or 4 years. And then before I know it, we're making trips across the country to see each other. Yeah. And then we're all freaking best friends all of a sudden and have all these great friends that are real friends across the country, and it's all because the magic of motorcycles.
It's so crazy. Once you start realizing, like, I can go to Australia and I'll have a place to stay. I can go to UK and I'll have a place to stay. I go pretty much almost any state here in the United States and I can have a place to stay. Is when you start thinking like, holy shit, man, I've met a lot of people. I've made a lot of friendships. And I think that is, for me, the biggest takeaway from YouTube, amazing, the people that I've met.
And then all the people that we've met, I think I can speak for everybody here. All the people that we've met from the motovlog biker / community are awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, you guys are all so fucking rad.
What's going on, guys?
Hey, Victory. I didn't have to pay for a single fucking flake of food in California. And I tried.
I just can't wait to get back, man. It's I feel I told my wife, I was like, man, I can't believe I'll let myself miss that. It was just there was so much, I don't want to call it tumult, but there was so much transition going on for me at that time. Like I was getting ready, I was shutting down one of my businesses, getting ready to start this new job. I had all this stuff going on. I was I don't know, man. I was just kind of stressed out and I just didn't think I would be all there. In fact, I thought that making that drive, pulling bikes and I would have had to come by myself this time. So I'd be pulling my bike by myself for 1,000 miles there and 1,000 miles back. And I thought, what's going to happen is I'm already stressed out. I'm kind of going through a big paradigm shift. And if I go do that, it's going to add to my stress. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could tell, Tim, at that time because you kept changing your mind.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, man, dude.
Yeah, it was a total freaking basket case then. Yeah. So, but I'll be all set up for August, for this coming August. Yeah. I can't wait now.
I think it was for the better, Tim, because they're saying next year is going to be like the best ever.
Yeah, I haven't talked to Sub D and like on the phone in a couple of months. I need to give him a call just to see how he and his fam and everybody are doing. That's another thing is there are certain people I haven't called and stayed in touch with as I've made all these transitions. But from what I understand, like there's a new venue for it this year, and it's way bigger than Desert Lodge, and it's basically the whole place has been rented for us. So,
I saw the place. It's pretty nice.
Okay. Has it been like? Is it widely known what the place is? Or
No.
is it being kept secret?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
it
we'll
is.
keep it secret then. That's fine.
Yeah.
Because you don't want
I-
everybody making their reservation right now, I guess.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't even. Yeah, I haven't even heard of the dates. I haven't talked to anybody to see.
It's not supposed to be announced until.
Okay.
Yeah. I
normal
would
time.
expect.
Well, that's cool. We won't. Obviously, wouldn't do that. Even if I knew it, I wouldn't do it. But
our LA versus SD ride is our LA to SD ride is coming up in January. We started getting. We got a lot of sponsors this year. It's pretty crazy. It's just, I mean,
Awesome.
to see it from this side where it's me, me and Bash organizing this event, and it's similar to like we're seeing the other side, the organizational side, and all the time we're putting in to get sponsors, to try to give away stuff, and DSG, he designed our logo for the shirts and for the event. Back up. And he just was like, "Hey, I got an idea," and I was like, "Yep." And so I was like, "Man, that looks dope." And I don't know, man. It's been crazy trying to organize it all, but I'm so excited to start promoting that, man. That's grown so big. Me and Bash are talking like this is the 4th year in a row, and the first year it was like 17 of us and 2 fans. And then to go from that to last year where we had over 200 plus riders come out, man, it's just insane.
Damn.
So
how many do you think were at SCMM last year? This year?
Oh man, probably like 400 or 500.
Yeah.
Or more. It was a lot, man.
Hey, Ghost. So this is in January. Are you guys?
Yeah,
gonna be
January
okay?
27th.
Are you guys going to be okay riding in that 70-degree weather? I know it's cold for you.
No doubt, man. You guys need the hot hands. Need a bunch of hot hands. I got some.
Oh shit. Yeah, I've been
I don't know.
riding.
We'll see. It should be good. Good.
Yeah, we're starting to get some. We finally broke out of our 100-degree heat. It's been really nice. We've had like 75 to 85-degree days. We've gotten our fall rains here, but man, I've been riding to work pretty much every day. Today was the first day all week I didn't ride back and forth to work just because it rained.
Dude, same here, man. What is up with the fucking
man?
It's fucking Halloween almost. It feels like July 4th.
I've been riding every day all year, so I don't know.
Yeah, you're a true rider. You ride. See, you got to keep in mind though, man. My office is 2.8 miles from my house, so I mean,
yeah.
Sometimes it takes me longer to get my gloves and helmet on than it takes to actually ride over there. So if the weather's
I'm about 20 miles away.
Yeah, so if the weather's bad, I ain't gonna mess my bike all up just to go a couple of miles. I'll just get in my truck. It's no big deal.
Hey Tim, I went hunting last Thursday, and I put my my touring saddlebags on the bike just in case I caught one.
Cool. What did you go do archery, deer archery?
Yeah, it was red deer.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, where are you down there? Like what area, if you don't mind saying, what area are you hunting in?
I went to Buda.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So are those indigenous deer?
They are exotic, and they are allowed to be hunted year-round.
Yeah, just like axis. Yeah,
Exactly.
Red deer, axis deer. Yeah, okay.
Red deer?
Awesome.
Oh, yeah. Red deer are fucking awesome, man. If you fucking get a fawn, they're like almost domesticate. They're cool as fuck. Like,
Yeah,
get a fawn
axis
and,
will
like,
do that too.
eat
Yeah.
it.
I am really looking for. I don't know if you guys saw on Instagram, but that picture of that freaking deer blind that we put up, that's basically an apartment.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Instagram.
I saw that. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it has 8 windows. They're all made out of auto glass, and they draw up and draw down. It's got 2 recoil chairs in it. It's carpeted.
Recoil chairs.
Yeah,
Jesus.
it's got 2 recoil chairs in it. It's carpeted. It's insulated. It has drink holders.
that must have been nice, huh?
I feel guilty, man. It's almost not like hunting, dude. You literally just go out there with your coffee in the morning, and you sit there for a couple hours and be quiet and drink your coffee, maybe take a nap or whatever, and then be quiet enough to let the deers come into the feeder, which is like 100 yards away. And if you see a deer you want to take, you just open the front window and take your shot. I almost feel guilty about it.
That's rad, dude.
You're almost like, hey, ma.
Does it have is there a blowjob button?
Oh, I wish. Don't tell my wife that. I'll just take my wife.
Yeah, I saw that. It was like the Cadillac of hunting, right? Cabins.
Yeah, here, I'll see if I can pull up a picture of it here. I'll do a little screen share. The thing is just freaking amazing. And you don't get the full magnitude of it from the picture I took because you just see the outside. I should have taken pictures from the inside and asked people, can you guess what this is? But all these windows open up like they have either drawstrings and they draw up.
I pictured an actual apartment, like a suite.
Oh, inside. I wish I could show you inside because there's room for 3 people in it. There's only 2 chairs in it. And then this whole front wall here, it's got it looks like a car with all the drink holders and a little snack station and all. Dude, it's so
fancy.
Great. Yeah, it is fancy, and it's carpeted, like I said, and insulated, and it's just total comfort.
Nice.
So is that your friends, or who's is that?
Yeah, this is at my buddy Bill's ranch. Yeah, where we hunt every year.
So it's like a permanent thing that just stays there.
Yeah, it stays there. Yeah, it stays right there on his ranch.
Yeah.
I was like, that looks pretty permanent. I figured it had to be someone's house.
It's not going anywhere. Right.
So one thing to get used to in Texas, I'm actually from Arizona, and hunting in Arizona, we used to go every year. It's illegal to have a deer blind, and it's illegal to have feeders. But in Texas, that's the norm. Like you have a deer blind, and you have feeders, and you get the deer used to the schedule of coming to eat.
And then murder that motherfucker.
Exactly.
Fuck you, Peter.
A grown man treehouse. That's funny.
Yeah.
So did you guys catch anything? Or did you guys get anything?
Catch anything?
I did.
Did you leap out of the blind and like grab him by the neck?
No, I didn't even see a deer.
Honestly, man, a big part of it for me is just
like fishing.
Being at the ranch and being out there. I mean, I'll go hunt 7 or 8 times and take 1 deer. It's just about going out there and being in nature early in the morning or late in the evening and just smelling the air. I don't know, man. There's like a real spiritual part of it that doesn't really have anything to do with harvesting an animal or not.
Well, you're alone and you can do your life like alone.
It's peaceful. You're sort of connecting with the sounds of stuff that's going on around you. And I don't know, man. It's hard to articulate actually, but
yeah, mine was a bad time. I was actually just constantly killing mosquitoes. I don't know why that night was a bad night, but there was just hundreds of mosquitoes coming inside the windows.
Yeah, down there, man, you guys, and we have mosquitoes here right now too. In fact, we have an outbreak. And so until we need a hard freeze. You guys do too, to get rid of them. And until we get a hard freeze with all this moisture that we've had and on this side of Texas, it's just gonna be mosquito central.
At least you don't have a hepatitis A outbreak going on in your backyard.
Yeah, that's true.
Tim, are you
going on down here?
Are you down in the West Texas town of El Paso?
I am not. I am in the area called Midland, and the reason it is called Midland is because it is exactly 4 hours east of El Paso and 4 hours west of Dallas, of Fort Worth.
Oh, so you're like real close to Miami.
Yeah, just like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I am in West Texas. I'm just east of what's called the Trans-Pecos region of West Texas. Yeah.
Down in the West Texas town.
Yeah, you're actually 6 hours north of us, Tim.
Yeah, 6. It takes about 6 hours to get down to. Well, it takes me about 5 hours to get to Buda. So how far are you having to go? Like an hour and a half to get up there?
No, I live in Austin.
You're in Austin.
Traveled to Buda for hunting. Yeah.
Okay.
I used to do the Houston livestock show. I did it 4 years in a row.
I almost moved to DeSoto, Texas, a while back ago.
DeSoto.
I like DeSoto.
Where's DeSoto?
I love the soda. I also love the pop.
If
the soda.
if memory serves me correctly, DeSoto is one of those towns kind of southwest of DFW,
South.
like Waxahachie and
Yeah,
Hico and all that. Is that right?
I think so.
Yeah,
I
there's
love that area.
There's a lot of small little towns in Texas. You can't know them all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, on Two Wheeled Texans, there's a forum called Two Wheeled Texans. We have a thread that's about 10 years old now, and it's most strangely named small town in Texas. And like right up north of me, there's a town called Tarzan.
Cool.
We got just the places I've been in over the last 3.5 years in episodes of Tim Kreitz Adventures are like No Trees and Tarzan and Kermit. And there's all these weirdly named towns. Ira Ann, which looks like Iran.
Yeah, DeSoto is basically or Dallas. It's
where, Billy?
It's Dallas. I mean, DeSoto
it's in Dallas. Okay,
it's north of Dallas, right? I think it's north of Dallas.
South.
Is it south?
Yeah, like 30 miles south of Dallas. So that's like Dallas, dude. It's Dallas.
Yeah, I rode through Iran, Tim, on the way back from SCMM.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking about your videos I was going through. I was oh man, there's that mountain he was showing. And
that was one of my biggest viewed videos of that year. That video has like, I don't know, it's got 15 or 16,000 views on it because it's all of that I got all the conspiracy weirdos that came to watch that video. That one went outside the motorcycle bubble.
Nice.
Iran is an interesting place, though, man. It's got a real wild history.
Iran.
It seemed like it was a lot of maybe oil or something because I stopped for gas and there was just a bunch of people in trucks and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, the only reason that town exists is because of the Yates oil field that they discovered back in the 1930s. And it's still just pumping just millions of barrels of oil a year, almost 100 years later. And that's the only reason
That's
people
so
live
crazy.
I'll show you the Yates field from satellite just to show you what it looks like. Hang on a second. Let me pull it up.
Yeah. What's crazy, Ghost, is that they get the oil from there, but yet the gas does not go down.
Yeah, because it has to be set to Big Spring to be refined. Yeah, so it's plus it's a scam anyway. It's just
yeah. You got the gas speculators or oil speculators that set the price of gas.
Hey, speaking of that, like at oil dumps, right, where you take your used motor oil and dump it out, like not like AutoZone where you just drop it off, but like actual oil dumps. Do you think is there a place at most of those places where you can dump like French fry oil, biodiesel?
I don't know.
Willie Nelson will take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't he go pick that shit up off different restaurants?
He freaking loves it.
I got about 200 gallons of biodiesel that I need to dispose of.
Wow, that sounds like you did something you weren't supposed to do. Maybe
it does, man.
The
the owner of the last owner of this house fucking left it here. Said he's
sounds like you can make some money somewhere out of that.
Billy, you don't have a diesel truck or something that you can convert to burn oil?
No, dude, I'm not a redneck.
You
got some free gas, man.
All right, so let's find Ira Ann here. So incidentally, all these little yellow stars, these are all places where I've done episodes of Tim Kreitz Adventures. All the way up to Cloudcroft in New Mexico, up in the mountains, and all this stuff. So Ira Ann is right here, and I'll show you what the Yates oil field looks like. You can't miss it. You see it?
Oh, God.
See on top of this mountain?
Oh, yeah.
It looks like a mini United States in Alaska.
Yeah, every one of these little white dots is an oil well pad. Those are all oil wells. So, in fact, if I get in really, really, really close, you can actually see the pump jacks themselves, maybe.
Did you happen to notice that little town called Midland? If you ever stop there, like en route somewhere, don't drink the tap water. It's disgusting.
Oh, no, we have the worst. Yeah, we have the worst tap water in the United States in Midland, tasting-wise. Yeah, it's horrible.
It tastes like
I was going to say, wait, does it have lead in it? I mean,
it tastes like chlorine. It tastes like chlorine and salt. Because
to me, it tastes like oil. It's like just the way oil smells. It tastes like that.
Dude, the water in Palm Springs, like the water in Florida, it's like you can smell rotten eggs. You know that rotten egg, fucking red water.
Yeah, that's a lot of pumps. That looks like Long Beach.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's just one oil field, man. Just right there, one formation.
It's like a bunch of mosquitoes sucking blood out of the earth.
Yeah.
That's
But
funny.
if you look at West Texas, I mean, we have, look, here's another huge oil formation. My dad works in this oil formation. So my dad's what's called a lease operator. And his job is he basically does a lot of chemistry work. He goes out, he has a truck with a centrifuge on it, and his job is basically to make oil out of what comes out of the ground, because what comes out of the ground isn't just oil. It's oil, it's natural gas,
Crude
it's
oil, right?
salt water, it's
Plastic.
brine. It's well, you make plastic out of it. Yeah, all the
Yeah.
so this whole, every one of these little white squares is an oil well. The whole thing. This is one giant oil formation.
That's crazy.
Here.
Like those rocking hammer looking motherfucking things.
Yeah. And then here's another big oil formation up here.
Yeah.
It just goes on and on and on and on. Here's a massive oil formation right here. Just thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of oil wells. That's why when I hear these tree hugging people telling us we're running out of oil, I just freaking laugh, man. Because in this, I'll show you.
That's a lot. I was going to say another thing about those tree huggers is they complain that we are actually getting oil, and they want these lighter cars that that don't use fossil fuels, but plastic comes from that crude oil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
they're all wearing.
You still need it, you know.
Yeah. So this oil field right here, it's kind of long and narrow. This one right here, in the 80s there was a bust. There was an oil bust, and what basically happened was the OPEC, the Saudis and OPEC, they flooded the market with oil, and oil went down to like $6 a barrel. And so in this oil field and a few other ones, but especially this one, they capped a bunch of these wells. They were like, well, these oil wells are almost 100 years old. They're really not pumping enough oil to make it worth it. So let's cap them for now, because they don't produce very much anymore. And so they left them capped for like 35 years. And then in 2005, 2006, 2007, you guys remember when oil went back to like $100 a barrel, they said, you know what? It's worth it at $80, $90, $100 a barrel to uncap these wells, even though they don't produce very much. Well, after letting these wells sit for 35 years, some of them produced more than they ever produced when they were new wells. So the question became, where the fuck did all the oil come from? If this is a finite resource, and if these formations go dry, how have we been pumping oil for over 100 years out of these? And how is it that after we stopped, we gave these wells a break for like 30 years, they're pumping more oil than they ever did? So it gives the rise to this whole notion of abiotic oil. And so, you know, those of us who live out here and see how oil is produced and see how it's drilled, and we realize that there are formations out here. We've got hundreds of years worth of oil for the world out here alone, and that doesn't even count what we haven't found yet. So yeah, it's a pretty amazing thing, you know, the industry that drives all of this out here in West Texas. So anyway, that's my speech about oil and about where I live and in the industry where I live. So
that's
fascinating.
It's kind of what my company deal. We work in the oil industry, oil and gas.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting stuff.
Definitely. All right, boys. I'm gonna go
Chesapeake Bay is full of fossil fuel.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm going to go get myself another delicious rum and Coke. Rum and caffeine-free Diet Coke, I should say.
Yeah, cool. Mine is gin and HEB canned water.
Mine is water and wheat fermented, and then
you got barley, malt, yeast, and hops, and water. RTV at HEB, they also have that. They have those bottles of really good seltzer water. They're 57 cents a bottle for those big 1 liter bottles. Have you seen those?
I have, yeah. I really like the canned water. It's convenient.
Mm-hmm. Salty water. Salty, right? It's like ramen and Coke. Ew.
So Tim, you fucking like keto into hard alcohol instead of drinking any beer, or are you drinking beer?
The only time I'm drinking beer right now is on Wednesday nights when I go with Matt and Cliff and the boys, and we all meet up at the deli. So it's a deli / bar, and so I make an exception for that because I ain't gonna give that up. We go up there and
live some.
Yeah, you got to live some, and so I go up there and have 2 or 3 beers off the taps, usually Guinness, and right now that's all the beer I'm drinking. It pulls me out of ketosis for part of the next day. So what I do the next day is I fast for most of that day. It gets me back into ketosis, and then I keep on rolling from there. So, all right, I'll be right back, you boys.
You boys.
All right, man.
You boys.
A good chicken broth and whiskey on the rocks.
Right. Hey, Ghost, I have a question, man. I saw you posted sprockets and a chain on your 675. Is that your first time doing that?
Yeah.
Okay, so you had like 27,000 miles.
26.
26. Okay.
Yeah, it lasted quite a bit. Actually, what was interesting is we pulled the sprockets off, and I probably could have got away without even changing the sprockets. Like we put them together, and they surprisingly weren't that far off. I was pretty impressed. I was like, "Holy shit!" Okay,
that's good.
Yeah, that's why I kind of stuck with OEM, but the stock sprockets that came with it.
Oh, yeah, if you got 27,000 or 26,000 miles, I mean, yeah, definitely.
Is that bike paid for?
Almost.
So you don't have to let the dealership do that shit. You could do.
No, the warranty expired.
Oh.
It's a 2-year warranty. And so that's where I was like, yeah, it comes with a 2-year warranty from Triumph, and so then that expired, and I was like, all right, I guess I'll change my own oil now and do my own maintenance.
Yeah. So you had a 2014?
Yeah, 2014.
Yeah, I have a 2015. They must have changed that because mine's a 3-year.
Oh, is yours a 3-year?
They kind of upped it a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, that would have been nice. Oh well.
Damn, I only got a 1-year.
I did use it 1 year. Yeah. I did use it a couple times. So I had a bolt came loose and started leaking oil. The indicator switch stopped working. I had an issue with the fuel pump where it wasn't reading the fuel accurately. So they swapped out the fuel pump, and then they swapped out the float thing that goes in the gas tank. So I've had a few warranty things taken care of on it, but nothing too bad. So
that's good. I haven't had a single issue, but I don't have 26,000 miles either. So
yeah. I think right now it's running like a champ with after the maintenance I've done. It feels so good right now. Yeah. 26,000 miles, man. I'm just like, man, this thing, it feels so good. I need to get my valves adjusted.
But you bought yours brand new, right?
Yeah, I bought it brand new.
So you've had it for 3 years. See, I got mine. Mine's a 2015. I got it exactly 11 months ago, and I bought it with 5 miles on it.
Nice.
You probably got a killer deal.
And now it has 8,000 something odd miles on it. But
how much did you pay for it?
10,000.
Fuck yeah, you got a killer deal. I got mine about 14, I think it was.
What are the valve check intervals on those bikes?
I think it's 25,000 miles is what they say to do the valve check.
I think on
that's why I'm like, I got to do the valve check.
Yeah, I think Sub D's was somewhere between 15 and 20,000 miles on his original Speed Triple, because he was asking me about it, and we were kind of making plans. I was going to go and stay with him for a few days and help him do the valves on it.
Oh, and you know how to do that, Tim?
Oh yeah, in fact, I used to have videos on this channel, on my channel before it was a motovlogging channel, back in the 2006, 2007, with me doing all that kind of stuff, and I took all those videos down. I don't know why I did, but I think anyway, I was going to go. I was going to go help him do that, but then somebody wrecked his bike.
Oh, really?
Well, he got
Well, it wasn't his
hit.
fault. Yeah, it was Snowcat. It wasn't Snowcat's
Oh.
fault. Yeah.
Oh, that bike. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the.
No, the original. Yeah, the
Okay.
original
Yeah.
speed triple.
Dude, I had to bring the Harley in. Harley makes this, everybody do this. You have to bring the Harley in if it's brand new and with a warranty on the 500-mile mark. You do a 500-mile checkup. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, they all say
No,
that,
it's just-
man.
Yeah, mine was the same way.
Yeah.
This is 600 miles or something like that.
Yeah. Basically,
Um,
what they do is they go in, they change the oil, and put a fresh filter on it, and then they go through and they retorque any bolts that need to be retorqued. That's
yeah, I
about
think
all it
that.
is.
Yeah, that's
And they
the
tighten
first.
your chain.
Yep, yeah, that's on the Triumph. Yeah, they did the oil change. They did. There's a sensor. I think it's a TPS sensor or something like that. There's some sort of sensor.
Throttle position sensor.
Yeah, you have to ride it for. Specifically, they said on Triumph that you have to ride it for a while, and then they have to readjust it on the first check.
Yeah, they have to recalibrate it.
Yeah, on the first check. So that was one thing they had to do. But yeah, the first 600 is really just about the oil, because you get all the flakes and shit in your
Yeah. How much did it cost you for Triumph?
How much does it cost me?
How much did it cost you for your first check?
For the first one, I think it was probably like $200.
Yeah, what the fuck? Yeah.
But that's because they do this. They do the safety thing too, where they retighten all the bolts and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they charge
And
me
a couple other
$295.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that sounds about right. And that's because they do all the safety checks and they readjust for, at least for the Triumphs, they do the throttle thing and a few other things. But
Billy, on your bike, on Harleys, doesn't it void your warranty if you don't let them do it?
oh man, that's bullshit.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you only got a 1-year warranty anyway,
Right. Yeah.
so fuck them.
Yeah, after 1 year, man, wrench it up.
Yeah,
Right,
that's
it's gonna
kind of where
take-
I started.
It's going to take a year to get instructional videos on how to do it too.
Yeah,
Because no one fucking has it.
Fortunately, Kenny had all the tools for the for changing the chain and all that stuff for the bike. So I didn't have to worry about I didn't have to worry about buying torque wrenches or the micrometer or any of that shit. He had it all.
You know what's nice about the street rod? It's 100% metric. It's even got 7/8 handlebars. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Which is
I did get to ride. He didn't have the right socket for the rear axle nut, and he had already changed, and we were at his house, and he's like, "Well, why don't you just take my bike and go get it?" And he got the power commander, and he got it tuned and everything and dynoed like 2 weeks ago. So I got to ride that thing. That thing's a monster, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What is that, like a
That
20,
bike's crazy.
The rear is like a 28 or something like that, right? Some massive socket.
What?
He was just under 180 horsepower. I think he was like 170 something.
Sweet Jesus Lord, man.
Yeah, dude, that
That's
thing
a
was like,
lot of horsepower.
oh, that thing, I went out and I started riding it, and I was like, that front wheel just goes, whoop, whoop. I was like, oh my god, dude, this is just insane.
Did you see how much Dan's stock H2 went? Like 213.
Oh.
213.
Yeah, it's got a supercharger in that thing.
God. Yeah. Yep. Supercharged 1,000. It's crazy.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know how, I can't imagine, because that R1, Kenny's R1, is just amazing.
Well,
yeah, I learned how to use a torque wrench.
I always tell people when it comes to valve adjustments, because with a shim under bucket, especially an inline motor with shim under bucket valves, it's extremely important to the life of the bike that you do the valve checks. If you do the valve checks and keep the valves in spec, the damn thing will run for hundreds of thousands of miles. But if you don't, you're looking at maybe around 60 or 70,000 miles and you bend a valve. Because they'll get out of spec and they'll end up getting smacked by a piston, and then it's done.
Yeah.
So what I always tell people is, even if you don't do the adjustment yourself, you can do the check. Okay, see you later, Billy. He left us a quick internal message. So anyway,
you gotta go, people.
yeah, he had to dip out real quick. Anyway, you can do the check without actually taking anything apart usually. It depends on the bike, but you know, some bikes, like if it has what are they called? Now I'm gonna blank out on what they're called.
Edgy thought I sent you a link. Checked your inbox.
Yeah, on some bikes, and you'll just have to look and see if you can. You can actually just take the valve cover off and get to the valve train and roll the cams around and do the actual valve clearance check to see if you need to replace any shims. If you don't need to replace any shims and your clearances are all in spec, just put the valve cover back on it and you're done.
Yeah,
but
I know. Like the problem here I have is that there's, I think, three or four Triumph dealers in San Diego, and no one else will work on them.
Yeah.
So
it's the same thing here. I have my nearest Triumph dealership is 300 and wherever Dallas. Let's see how many miles is that? 340 miles. So my nearest Triumph dealership is 340 miles away. So I got to do everything.
It sucks because when I don't remember what it was. My chain was really bad, and I was on my way home, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'll stop by whatever dealership, and it's like $20. I'll just have them clean my chain real quick, right?" And they're like, "Oh, they went through the whole process." They're like, "Yep." And then he looked out the window, and there was a ZX6R out there, and he thought that was mine. I'm like, "Oh no, I'm the Triumph." And then he's like, "Boop, here's your keys. Can't touch it." And I'm like, "You're just gonna clean the chain?" And he's like, No, in case we break the swing arm. And I'm just like, dude, if you break the swing arm, clean the chain, you got bigger problems. They would not touch it. They just wouldn't do anything with it.
Mm-hmm. Some dealerships are like that, and Triumph is especially, the Triumph requires, they've got to have their techs all certified for, to go. They've got to go through the Triumph school and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of funny that nobody will touch them, though. That's I don't know. I don't wonder if that's the case here. I hope I don't have to find out for a long time.
My thing is, like, it's just like any other bike, really. The big issue is just, parts you got to come from the UK, right? That's like the only thing. In terms of anything else, it's not like you're working on a Jaguar or Mercedes. It has all these sensors. Especially my bike, the bike doesn't have any aids on it. The only thing it has is the ABS. It doesn't have traction control. It doesn't have anything. It's just, you get everything.
Yeah. And it's discontinued.
And it's discontinued, which is another reason why I need another bike.
Well, you don't need another bike for 10 more years.
Hey, whoa. I need another bike. We got to keep the value, we got to keep the value up there as it ages, it appreciates.
So I see what you're doing. You're going to add a bike to the stable.
Yeah, there you go.
You're doing like I'm doing with my ZRX 1200. I don't ride it as much as the others because I want to keep the miles off of it. Yeah.
That's what I want.
So you need to go ahead and
have AIDS either.
you need to go ahead and get yourself a Speed Triple 1050. Yep. Yeah.
That's the plan. That's the bike I want. A nice comfy bike that, it's got power and
gobs of power.
Yeah.
Gobs of torque.
Yep.
That's what you need to do. That's a plan, man.
That is it.
I'm kind of eyeballing the FZR 1300.
FCR 1300.
FZR or FJR?
FZR. It's a sport touring bike.
FZR 1300.
Currently Googling.
Yeah. Processing. Oh, that's a big. That looks like the ZX14.
After making that trip to California, I was like, this is kind of fun, but it'd be funner on a more comfortable bike.
That's right. That's what I was thinking. Like, oh man, the Speed Triple, the 1050 would be great for a road trip.
Well, I put in FZR 1300, and all it does is give me pictures of FJR 1300s.
Oh, I'm sorry. It is an FJR. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what. That's what Cliff got. Yeah, the guy. Cliff,
that's a blue bike, right?
My videos. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Those are amazing motorcycles. Fantastic.
A touring bike. Yeah, that's what the Speed Triple's for.
Sport touring. 160 horsepower touring bike.
Damn.
Yeah, they're badass.
Oh, what the heck? Weird video.
Yeah, if you go and watch my latest video, that's the bike that Cliff is on, is a 2016 FJR 1300, and he bought that after having a 2006 FJR 1300 for a decade, and he loved it so much he bought a 2016.
Yeah, I remember that. I think I remember you guys were on a video, and he was talking about that he was just gonna get the new one.
Yeah, the video's called 2006 FJR 1300 versus 2016 FJR 1300. Yeah. So
I don't know, man. I absolutely love my bike. It's got more power than a normal 600, and it's light, it's nimble, it's comfortable, and the big thing is you don't see a bunch of them.
Like you see none of them.
Yeah, there's a few in Triumph now. Or there's a few here now that are in Triumph. There's a few that I've seen here, like 3. I think 3 that I've seen, but you don't see them often, and most people don't know what the hell they are.
Yeah, yeah. Here in Austin, I have not come across somebody else that has one.
yeah, you don't see a lot of them.
I'm gonna drink this. Guys.
What are you drinking?
Right here.
99 peaches.
Yeah, 99 peaches.
Dude, that looks good. 99 proof.
Is that Mrs. Peach's
Peach liqueur?
Yeah. This is gonna hurt.
Oh, okay. That's a little airline bottle. The way you had it first held up there, it looked like a 750 milliliter. I was like,
no. Yeah, no, it's a small one. But dude, I absolutely love my bike, man. I can't complain about it. I think I made the right choice. I love that it's kind of rare, and it's gonna get rarer now because they're not making them anymore.
Yeah, I'm the same way with my ZRX 1200. People are always asking me in the comments of the videos, where's the Kawasaki? Where's the Kawasaki? And man, I don't ride it as much, period. I take it out maybe once every couple of weeks now. And the main reason is not because I don't enjoy riding it. It's because I'm trying to preserve it. You know, it's almost, God, what is it? It's getting to be close to 15 years old now, 14 years old. And I want to preserve it. You know, I've had it for so long. I've had it well over a decade now. I want to always have it and have it always running. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's kind of where I feel about this bike. It's a bike that I don't ever want to get rid of. I want to keep it.
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
I'm pretty close to paying it off, so it'll be nice. I do want to get it wrapped. I want to take it somewhere and have it wrapped.
It'll protect the paint. So
yeah. Oh, the paint already in certain spots. I use it every day, so.
Oh yeah, it's gonna have.
You know, no matter what I do, it's got in some spots. And then to Seattle, that took a little bit of wear on some parts, and
well,
you know what, more character. That's all that means. It's got a story to it now.
Yeah, you can do like Jay Leno if you really like the paint and the graphics that are on it. You know, he has it wrapped in that UV clear wrap.
Yeah,
and so it looks exactly like itself, but it's protected.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
Hey, Ghost, what's going on over there in California? Because I watched Motopilot's last video, and it sounds like California is about to outlaw gas-powered motorcycles.
No, I don't think so. I doubt that. I think he was just talking. I think I didn't watch the video. I saw like a snippet or something, but I think his whole point is there's like the zeros are out and these new bikes are coming out, but I can't see that they're not gonna get rid of gas powered bikes.
Dude, you can't get rid of gas powered bikes and motorcycles. They're talking about doing it. They've already passed legislation to do it in Europe, and you're going to watch over the next 15 or 20 years. That's going to be a motherfucking disaster. You mark my words on this hangout tonight. It's going to be an unmitigated disaster. They're talking about now because, you know, California is full of these leftist progressives who want to do everything the way Europe does it. They want everybody to be poor and not have any money and be taxed out their ass and be on government assistance just like Europe.
Yeah.
And So what they're doing now in California is they're talking about outlawing all gas vehicles by like 2040. So there was either an MIT, I think he was an MIT graduate scientist, but he was Canadian. I can't remember what school he went to anyway. He's a well-respected Canadian electrical engineer and scientist, and he did the math on how much electricity it would take to run the tens of millions of vehicles in California, and it came up as almost mathematically impossible.
Well, if you think about we're not really efficient on battery storage.
No.
So we're not there yet.
We're decades away on batteries right now.
Yeah.
In fact, one of the big things, in fact, that's my latest videos. We're talking about that massive solar farm we went to. One of the big problems with large scale solar is there's no way to store the electricity. You can't command when you want the electricity because it might be nighttime, or it might be cloudy, or it might be rainy. So you need a way to store that electricity, and there's just no way to do it because battery technology sucks so bad right now. Yeah. And they're talking about no gas vehicles by 2040. That's a pipe dream, man. The technology doesn't even exist to do that yet, and there's no guarantee that it will exist. I mean, I don't have anything against it if it does exist. I've said it 1,000 times on Hangouts. The second somebody comes up with an $8,000 125 horsepower electric bike that'll go 300 miles between recharges in 15 minutes, I'm going to be the first dude to buy one. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Yeah. But the technology just flat out does not exist. And you've got the Elon Musks of the world deceiving the average peckerwood into thinking that this can happen. And so far, there's no evidence that it can happen, unfortunately.
No, cannot.
Yeah. So,
Silver Surfer Tim saying no gas-powered vehicles in California by 2030.
Golly, man, it's only like a decade away. It's physically, it is impossible. They did calculations on how many megawatts they would have to be able to generate a day to power vehicles using the current battery technology, and it was impossible. In fact, California already has to deal with fucking brownouts right now with everybody burning gas vehicles. They can't even produce enough power to power people's houses right now. And you're going to power 30 million vehicles on top of that? It ain't going to happen.
Right.
So I just don't know what these politicians in California come from a dreamland. They come from something out of a Disney movie or something. I don't get these people, man. They never consult anyone who knows what they're doing when they want to do something like this. That's why California is, borderline bankrupt right now.
It sounds like the government.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, God, I'm in a preachy ass mood tonight. What the fuck?
It's definitely one of those things that'll fail and they'll realize it.
Yeah, it's
somehow, but think about it. If you think about, they've already banned like aftermarket exhausts, right?
But everybody has them.
Still install them. Yeah, like I'm planning on getting. Like Two Brothers is still doing fine here.
They can't enforce that. The worst thing that any society can ever do to itself is pass laws that are unenforceable, because it demeans the nature of the law. And that's what California's dealing with right now. They've passed so many stupid-ass draconian laws. They don't have enough cops or enforcers to enforce all of it. And the cops are just like, well, we really should go for the rapists and the murderers instead of the good guy who's riding his motorcycle with an aftermarket exhaust.
He put an aftermarket exhaust on his bike. How dare he?
Well, I mean, if you take a look at California's position on emissions on motorcycles, they try to enforce emission laws. And so all the manufacturers started trying to make their bikes, ready for California, or they are ready for California's emissions. And they don't smog check fucking bikes in California because they didn't think about how much money it was going to cost for the smog companies to buy new equipment in order to even do it. It's tens of thousands of dollars for them to do it. And so no one was able to do it. And so they don't do it. So that's why you can take like all your emission shit out. No one cares.
Man, one of the things that
it's really about decibel levels after that.
one of the things that people do here in West Texas is with diesel trucks is they pull out those particulate filters, those giant particulate filters that are underneath the vehicle, because when they clog up, man, it can ruin the whole engine. And so a lot of guys are just like, man, screw it. I'm taking that whole thing out. I'm doing what they call a delete on these diesels. And so now they're blowing this huge black smoke while they're going down the road. And the EPA, is creating problems that were worse than if they had just not been so invasive in how they, mandated the air quality standards. Anyway, freaking government.
You got to admit though, those black smoke things are pretty. It's pretty funny on YouTube.
Yeah, they make a lot of power, man. You can make incredible power with these new diesels if you delete all of the emission stuff and do all of the reprogramming and all that. It's pretty impressive. They got them out there at the drag strip on Saturday nights. This big freaking 4-wheel drive diesel truck will pull up
with the black smoke coming out the back
and run a freaking 1050 in the quarter mile, and you're like, holy crap!
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Edgy Throttle, you have a link. And KITB, I sent you a link. Check your email.
You know what I'm going to send a link to? I'm going to send a link to Defobra.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm going to go see a man about a horse. Be right back.
All right.
See a man about a horse. Pull my beer.
He's going to go drop the kids off at the pool. You'll get that. You're going to get that in a second. Yeah. It's going to be fun.
No, I got it. It's going to make his deposit.
I got it. I just don't know what to do with it. Come on.
Yeah.
All right, let's get. I'm sure Defobra's probably asleep by now because he's on the East Coast and he's got kids. So, but I'll send him one anyway, just in case.
Yeah, I just put it in the Faggot Force.
I'm gonna send
if anyone had done it.
Yeah, I haven't checked Faggot Force, but I'm gonna just send it to his personal Facebook.
Work. You know what I find is live streams are really cool when you're at work. Who had I think it was, what's her name from Canada? Moto Girl? Is that her name from Canada? She had she had a live stream while I was at work. And they're always cool because you can have it up on the window. It's live, so you can kind of interact with people and still do your work. I don't. I really enjoy live streams when I'm at work. Like but live streams when you can actually interact with people.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of interacting with people, where is Red One?
He's in Oklahoma. I don't know.
I know he's in Oklahoma, but I saw his latest video. He was hanging out with Brock, but yeah, I guess he didn't take his laptop with him or something. I don't know.
I am not 100% sure. So I think he told me he wasn't gonna be able to make it or whatnot.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool.
All right, I'm back. I got a trivia question, except for Tim. Tim cannot answer.
Ah! Okay.
Well, then it's only me. Fuck,
I know, because I already know Tim's going to know the answer. So when I walked away, I said, I'm going to see a man on a horse. Where does that originate from?
Wait, what'd you say?
When I walked away, I said, I'm going to see a man about a horse. Where does that originate from?
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Too. Let's see who knows the answer.
All right, I'll send you an invite, Ehart. Welcome to the stream.
But yeah, you have to cut Tim out because Tim's going to know.
I've heard of this before. I don't know if what I know is the real thing. So see if Ghost can or somebody in the side chat can answer, and then we'll see if it matches up with what I've been told.
Well, nobody's answering. So
I was gonna say Tim's very well. You got to give a minute. There's a delay. There's usually like a minute delay. But I was gonna say Tim's usually very good with idioms. Is that
idioms?
Idioms. There you go.
And this is an idiom, by the way. Go see a man about a horse. Yeah. It's an idiom. Yeah. I love idioms because I'm an idiot.
I didn't know the answer. I still don't know the answer, but my wife and my daughter were like, they greased up the side of the freeway. Like they didn't. It's not tar. It's like an oil on the side of the freeway. And so they asked me, and they're like, "Why do they oil the side of the freeway?" And I'm like, "I don't fucking know." And they're like, "You know all this useless shit. I figured you would know."
All right, so far nobody has come up with what I've been told in the side chat.
So what do you think it is, Tim?
So what I've always heard is that when it says I'm going to go see a man about a horse, it can also be what it used to be was that when they were having horse races in England, when you made your bet, you did it in private. So so in other words, I'm going to go see a man about a horse. That means I'm going to go place a bet on a horse, but that was done in a private room. So it became an idiom for going to take a leak or take a dump, because you would also do that in a private place, but you didn't want to just make the announcement to everybody that I'm going to go take a dump or take a whiz. That's what I've always heard.
Huh, I've never heard that. I actually heard it from John Wayne.
Really? So what was his explanation?
He went to go see a man about a horse.
He literally just went to go see a man about a horse.
Yeah.
He was going to buy a horse or whatever.
It was in a movie. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I've heard that in many old Westerns, but I always heard that it was actually had originated in England, and it had to do with the fact that when I guess at some point in England, betting on horses was maybe illegal. So when you went to go see a man about a horse, it had to be done in private because the actual transaction of making the bet or getting paid from the bet was illegal.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Did you know? Here's an interesting fact. We were talking about useless facts. Did you know? Picture of the Eiffel Tower at night is copyrighted.
Yes. You're not allowed to take a picture of it within the city unless you get a permit and pay to do it or something like that. Yeah,
but at night only.
Yeah.
Not during the day, at night.
That's weird, man. Freaking French people.
Reason being, well, here, yeah. So I guess most of the world has like some sort of law in the books about taking pictures of buildings and them not being copyrighted, because technically, it's someone, the architect designs it or whatever, but in France they don't, or the original designers of the Eiffel Tower died, and so I think it was like whatever time frame past the copyright laws, and that's why you can take pictures and distribute them and make replicas during the day. But then like 30 years later, after they built it, they added the lights or something like that, or someone added the lights, and the lights and the way that they were placed on there themselves is copyrighted. And so that's why you can't take picture of it at night legally.
That right there is typical French buffoonery right there. That's just what you'd expect from a bunch of cheese-eating surrender monkeys.
Cheese-eating surrender monkeys.
What's up, eHeart? Hey, eHeart needs a link. Send her one.
It's done already. I'm on it today. But she's asking how late we're going. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Does Midwest have a link? She's probably still at work right now.
Midwest does have a link.
Okay.
Mr. Fish has a link.
Okay.
All the normal people.
The whole Super Faggot Force has a link. Defobra has a link.
Usually Jake's the only one. Jake's the only one that...
Jake might come in, like gets his baby settled down and all that stuff.
I was going to say... Puts him down.
I could send... do it with Dan a link.
Baby down.
Dan's probably banging a hooker right now, but I'll send him one to his personal Facebook.
That's funny.
He's probably washing his bike right now. He's still in love with it. It's that new. New bike.
If he's a smart young man, and I will say right now, he should make plans to always have that motorcycle. Don't ever sell that motorcycle, and then 60 years from now, when he's an old coot, he can sell it for $1 Brazilian. Oh,
you're talking about the H2?
Yeah, the H2. Yeah. Because it's a first-generation H2. Anyone who owns a first-generation H2 is an idiot to get rid of it.
That H2 it's a gorgeous bike.
Is his the first generation?
Oh wait, Dan, do it with Dan is already in Super Faggot Force, so I won't send one to his personal. Yeah. Okay.
The fuck?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
I was like, what is that? It's like transformed into
That was me just talking in a burp. I have a bad habit of doing that.
Usually, Mr. Fish jumps on here too.
Yeah, let's see, what time is it in England? It's 5:10 a.m. So he should be getting up pretty quick.
just getting up.
Yeah.
He usually gets up, joins us for he joins us for coffee, and he sometimes has work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or it's his day off. I don't know.
Yeah. He's been kind of going back and forth. Did you guys watch his latest video on his Grom where he goes back down that?
No.
Oh, dude, it's cool.
Is it?
Yeah. What was cool about it for me is just that I really thought that lane that he was riding down, even though parts of it were pretty rough and it had been raining and he had to go through some mud and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Those little English lanes
They're
in
nice.
southern
They're
England.
so cool.
Oh my gosh, man.
Yeah, they look really cool.
I could just drink rum and Coke and just watch a motorcycle going down those roads, just like in high def for an indefinite period of time.
It's so green and
Mm-hmm. It just has a different vibe to it than anywhere else.
A completely different vibe. You're right.
I tell you who else does that too, and this is another moto vlogger who I wish he had more subs. He's such a cool dude and does such interesting stuff and talks about such interesting things. There's a guy called Suffolk Andy. And if any of you in the side chat are looking for a new moto vlogger, he's not new. He's been doing it longer than I have, but he only has like 1,000 subs, and I can't figure that out because he's so freaking cool. He goes to all of these historic. He'll go to like these 500-year-old, 600-year-old buildings, 400-year-old buildings. I'll put his name over here in the side chat. You guys should all go and sub to him.
That's another thing about watching motor vloggers in like Europe and stuff is like we'll go and we'll go to an abandoned town and it's only like 60 years old.
Right.
They go places and you're talking about 400, maybe even 1,000-year-old fucking buildings, you know?
Yeah. Do you guys watch Lucky Luke? He's in Ireland. He's always doing videos of him going to see these really, really old castles, and it's cool.
Yeah. That's what Suffolk Andy does, but he does it generally with old churches and old public buildings around
That's cool.
Suffolk and Ipswich. And dude, it's just badass. I love watching that kind of stuff.
Edgy Throttle. Oh, go ahead. Go finish up.
Oh, I was just going to say, I can't figure out how he, after all these years of doing videos, he only has like 1,000 or 1,500 subs or whatever it is. It just makes me sad.
Sometimes it just doesn't make any sense.
No, that's so true.
Edgy Throttle saying he wants more useless facts, so I'll give one more. If you guys like pickles, I do. I think I might have mentioned this before.
Not in a sexual way.
This is where goes. They're made from cucumbers.
They're mind blowing. No. so they make them in these giant vats, right? Well, these vats, they don't put like lids on them because they're so big. So what they use is I think it's nitrogen or whatever. Not nitrogen. It might be nitrogen. It's a gas that you can't smell or whatever, and they have it on top, right? And that's how they kind of use it as a sealant to keep everything in.
Probably nitrogen.
Yeah, you can't smell it, you can't see it's there or anything like that. So what happens is the rats go up there because of the pickle, because it's open, but then they die because they can't breathe and they fall into the vats of pickles. So the FDCA or whatever, the food people.
Yeah, FDA.
FDA allow a certain amount of rats per pickle vat.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting.
So it's not only pickles. So this is also rice, oatmeal, corn, anything that is harvested as such. There are a certain number, and it's usually in some kind of a bulk weight. But there is an acceptable amount of weight per unit of mass of insects where the FDA says, yeah, that's okay because it's impossible to get them all out of there. Yeah. So you can have this much per unit of mass. Yeah. So and I also saw another statistic that said how many pounds of insects a human being eats inadvertently over the course of their lives. And so it seemed like it was something like 5 or 8 pounds or something like that.
It's a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Ghost, there's another gas that we can't smell, but we can because they actually add an additive to it. And that's natural gas.
Yeah, natural gas.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's why they added it so when you're in your house, you can smell it, yeah.
That way
and
you
people
can smell
don't
it, yeah.
die.
Right.
Yeah,
Didn't that happen because there was, like, some big, like, disaster and a bunch of people died, and so they're like, oh, we got to do something. Mm-hmm. So they added that smell to it.
Chuckster said that they just call it a non-food product. They don't necessarily call it insects.
So it's on your ingredients list, non-food product.
I wonder.
I'm gonna get a refill.
Cool.
Mexican rice water enhanced. So you're drinking horchata, huh? That sounds delicious.
I love horchata.
Yeah,
it's a big thing out here.
Oh, I love horchata too. Mm-hmm. Man, this is
Is it good?
It's got a good flavor, but man, it burns.
Yeah, get you a little seltzer water to go with that. Probably be
really
this
nice. Is well, no, I'm drinking a tea.
Well, I'll tell you guys what I'm drinking. I'm drinking. If you guys remember a couple of weeks ago on the other guys, I had recently discovered rum for this ketogenic thing. So I have gone to discover the rums of the world because I've discovered that I really, really like rum. I've said the word discover too many fucking times, so I'm going to stop saying that. But I had that cheap rum. You were on that night. I had that like a $7 bottle of rum, and I thought, man, this is pretty good for $7. Well, I've gone into like the $20 and $30 a bottle, bottles of rum, and
the good stuff.
Oh my gosh, dude, there is some amazing rum out there.
Have you tried Costco's?
I have not.
Costco makes their own rum, and it's pretty damn good too.
We don't have Costco here. We have Sam's. So I'll have to look around for that. But
I don't know if Sam's will have it.
What I'm drinking tonight is
Costco makes rum.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
They make rum. They make their own. Their vodka. They actually purchased a vodka plant from Grey Goose, and so they make their vodka in the same way that Grey Goose makes their vodka, but way cheaper.
Here in Texas, we would never know that because it's actually illegal for them to sell it in their grocery stores or in any store. We actually have separate liquor stores that are designed for liquor.
Yeah, you cannot get liquor store in a supermarket in Texas.
Right. That's because the liquor stores back in the day lobbied it, and now it's illegal for any grocery store to sell it.
Liquor, not beer, though. You can get beer, right?
You get beer, just not liquor.
That's interesting. Yeah, we don't have that problem here.
Yeah. It was actually one of those like 1800 kind of lobbyist thing that they did to protect the liquor stores, and it's just carried on all these years.
Yeah, it harkens back to when they were forming what are called the blue laws in Texas. So we have a lot of weird liquor laws in Texas. You can't buy liquor on Sundays unless it's in a restaurant, and it has to be after 10 a.m.
Really?
And then you can't buy, as RTV said, you can't buy liquor, period, in a grocery store. It ain't ever going to happen.
You can't buy beer on a Sunday unless it's noon. Right.
And you can't buy any of it. You can't buy liquor after 9 o'clock on any night, and you can't buy beer after, what is it? What time is it in Texas? You can't buy beer after 11 o'clock? Is it 11 o'clock?
So what time do like bars and
clubs?
But that's different. That's different, yeah.
Yeah, that's different. So in a bar closes at 2 a.m. in Texas. So last call is at 1:45. Yeah,
that's the same here. Although they're trying to in California, they're trying to change it to 4 a.m. I think.
But as Thrall said, it says it's 70% by volume. So, whatever. There's so many. It's such a convoluted. The Texas Alcoholic Beverage Code is one of the most convoluted set of statutes in American law. I'm convinced of that. It's crazy, man.
Look, South Carolina, no beer sales on Sunday. So you got to stock up on Saturday, huh?
Yeah, that's what everybody does. So anyway, I'm drinking Sailor Jerry spiced
Ooh, I like
rum.
Sailor Jerry.
Oh my gosh, it's good. It's
it's
600 or 650 mil for like $20, and I
it's
highly
pretty cheap.
recommend it.
It's like a medium. It's on the, I don't want to say lower end in quality. It's just a lower priced.
Well, it's
rum.
a lower volume too. So like I bought that 750 mil bottle of that Skull rum for like $7, and this was like 600 milliliters or a little over that, 625 milliliters for $20.
Nice.
So
one time in Vegas, I went to a conference and we took flasks, and that was our flask drink right there. Sailor Jerry's. We all just walked around with flasks of Sailor Jerry's.
yeah,
that was a rough night.
So the next rum I'm going to try, yeah, I bet it was. The next rum I'm going to try, I've in the rum section at the liquor store, which RTV is in the parking lot of the HEB, by the way. They got that figured out. So they have black rum. Have you guys seen this? Black spiced rum.
No.
There's like all these different brands of really dark black spiced rum. So that's going to be the next thing I'm going to try.
Nice. Actually, if you go to the Costco here in Austin or Cedar Park or any of the surrounding areas, they have a liquor store attached to the building, but it's not Costco, and they make it very clear when you go in there, we are not part of Costco.
They're like, we're not Costco.
Yeah, but they're there. You know, they're in the building.
Salty said the rum section. They do have a rum section. It's just a whole rack of rums from top to bottom.
So when we went to for SCMM, right? When I got to SCMM, the first thing I did, I was like, all right, we took everything out of the car, and I was like, all right, babe, I'm taking the car. Time to go get beer and liquor. So right when I was getting ready to leave, it was me, Kenny, and I think it was just me and Kenny. And Realist Rider. Red texts me and he goes, where you at? And I'm like, I'm about to go get beer. And he's like, how the fuck are you going to go get beer and not tell me? And I'm like, so you want me to pick you up? He's like, yeah. So I'm like, all right. So I go pick up Red and Cali Girl. And so we go to Bevmo's. And we got so much beer that Cali Girl, Red, and Kenny had to take an Uber to the hotel because they couldn't fit in the car. we filled the front and the back seat up full of beer and liquor. So
okay, that's
so they
impressive.
had to take an Uber back. Yeah, they had to take an Uber back.
That's fucking full throttle right there.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. We didn't. And the funny thing is, like, we didn't even think about it. Like, we just all like got a bunch of beer and Realist Rider. A lot of the beer that we have here, he can't get there. So he was all about, I want craft beer. So I was like, oh, you got to try this. You got to try this. You got to try that. And so we bought all this beer, and I pull up on the car, and I realized, and that's when we were like looking at all the beer and all the drinks, and we're like, huh. This isn't gonna work.
That's awesome.
When we're like, oh, it's gonna be a good moment.
That's awesome.
It sounds like that Thursday night was a good moment.
Oh man, I was so bad. I was really bad.
I think you made almost every vlogger's video that was there, at least in the discussion.
Yeah, I was gone, man. I was so bad.
So when you guys got into RTV, when you guys got into going into SCMM, into the Chihuahuan Desert, like what time of the day was it? Did you go through during the day?
Yeah. So we actually got really lucky on our ride to California. It rained the first 6 hours from leaving Austin all the way up until almost Van Horn.
Yeah, I saw on the first videos you could tell it had been raining.
Yeah, and then so we spent the night in Van Horn, and then when we got to Arizona, it continued to rain. So we were actually expecting this 100-degree, 115-degree weather, when in fact it was 80 degrees.
Wow.
So then we spent the night in Tucson, and then we went to Palm Springs the next day. That's when we started seeing a little bit of heat, but it wasn't that bad. It was in the 90s. It wasn't until coming back, I guess all the storms and stuff had like just dissipated or whatever. Coming back, it was 116 degrees in Tucson, and it got so bad that if your leg touched your gas tank, it just burned it.
Oh.
And so, yeah, we had to ride with our legs spread.
Dude, that's crazy, man.
That was the hottest I've ever experienced. And I have a white gas tank, and white's like not supposed to absorb all that heat, and it was still that hot.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's just impressive that you guys were even able to do that. I can remember the first year, not the first year that I came through for, the first SEMM was 2015. And Britt and I came out for that. And we came out in a car, and we had bikes ready that we had rented to go pick up when we got there. And when we came at that point, part of I-20 had been closed down due to a bridge failure. And so we came in on I-8, and we came in south of the Salton Sea. And that was about 115, 116 degrees. And I'm watching the car get hot, and I'm looking at, all the telemetry telling me what the outside temperature was. And we stopped just to kind of experience the heat of that. And I thought to myself, dude, we would die if we were on motorcycles trying to do this. So I'm thoroughly impressed that you guys were able to suffer through that, because that had to have been suffering without exaggeration.
Yeah, it actually didn't feel too bad. I mean, I had a camel pack on, and it was connected underneath my my helmet, so I was constantly drinking water, as was Ghost and Amazing AJ. It was just the tank. That's the only thing I can really remember that was like that was a hassle. Like if your leg touched it, you knew you were touching that tank.
Oh my gosh!
But yeah, it's definitely a ride I would do again. And one thing I can attribute to Triumph is in that hot 116 degree weather, I never overheated.
Yeah.
But it always feels like it's going to overheat. Like at least my bike, it gets up there and you're like, man, is it going to overheat?
Yeah.
No? Yeah, but see, if you look at your dials, I don't know if your dials are the same as mine. I'm sure they are. I think it's the same exact everything, right? The 14 and the 15.
Yeah. Yep.
If you look at your manual, it says it'll blink. When it starts flashing, that's when you got a problem. And it never even got to that point. So.
Huh.
Hey, Ehart, I sent you the link to your email since you're on your phone. That might be easier.
What was I going to say? Oh, in 2016, SEMM 2016, I brought one of my bikes, but SEMM 2015, which was the hottest of the two that I've been to.
Well, that was the first one, right? Yeah,
the first one. We rented motorcycles, and I rented a Harley, and it was air cooled.
Oh man,
and, dude, we did the Idlewild ride, which was the exact ride that I sent. I sent my GPS coordinates for that ride to Shade Tree Surgeon. If you guys have seen his video of doing that ride, it's the exact ride that me and Britt did in 2015. As we started coming back down into Palm Desert and Cathedral City, it was 115 degrees, and we caught all of these red lights, like all the way through Palm Desert, all the way through Cathedral City, and then onto the main road that took us back to Desert Lodge into Palm Springs. And dude, I'm telling you straight up, I was worried about that Harley because it's air cooled. It's 115 degrees and it's sounding weird to me, and it's power fading. If you've ever been on a motorcycle that's power fading due to heat, it's an unmistakable feel. Like you know this engine is struggling. So I parked it when we got to Desert Lodge, and I thought to myself, when I wake up in the morning, that son of a bitch is not going to start. It's going to be done for.
Gosh.
And I'm going to lose $1,000 to, on my liability waiver because I ruined.
Technically, that wouldn't be your fault, though.
Yeah, the only thing they told me,
I don't know. I was riding in. I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
I never went to Death Valley.
Dude, that's right. They tell you that. That was the first thing they told us. They said, you're not allowed to go to Death Valley on this motorcycle. It voids our entire agreement if you go to Death Valley. And I was like, I ain't going there. I'm not going there. Don't worry about it. So, but man, dude, in the next morning, we fired those bitches up to go ride again. And it fired right up and it ran like a champ all day long. I couldn't believe it. But I was,
I remember
legitimately worried.
What I remember is Malcolm's shoes were melting that year.
Yeah. Oh,
I remember him walking. He was walking and he was leaving imprints on the ground because his shoes were fucking melting.
So the boots that I wore at SEMM 2015, because we had to stop so much between Palm Desert and Cathedral City, mine were all fucked up. Like the soles of my boots from being constantly on the asphalt on a 115-degree day. When I got back from that trip, I threw those boots away because it had warped and melted and jacked up the tread on my boots so bad.
Man,
so I don't doubt that for a second. That heat is an amazing thing out there.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. And it's brutal because it's nonstop, because even at night you feel it.
Yeah, it takes
so there's like no relief.
It takes until 5 o'clock in the morning for all of the radiant heat to kind of come off of things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 2017 was not that bad though. We got kind of lucky, I think.
Everybody said it was the coolest of the three.
Yeah, it was great weather.
Yeah,
it's gonna be.
I'm trying that E-Heart.
What's going on with E-Heart? She can't get her link.
Yeah, it's not working because she's on her phone.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
I
enjoy myself.
You know how to send the link through Google Hangouts?
Yeah, I did it through the plus, and then just put the info in there, and then hit submit.
Send it as a private.
So we'll see if that works.
Yeah, that should work. She should be able to get in.
Are you talking about like go through the Google Hangouts in my email, or through here? You can put their info in.
You can send it through Google Plus, but when you send it to her, make sure you send it as a private message, or it'll show up in the Google Plus news feed. If you were going to do it that way, if not, it's a non.
I'm sending the link, however, every way I know how. Let's see, does this one work? Bam. Oh, here we go. I'll try this one.
Oh wow, Vegas girl saying that 2016 was 117 degrees.
Yeah.
That is hot.
Those were both hot years, man. To me, 2015 was actually hotter than 2016. But I was on an air-cooled motorcycle, and that may have contributed to my feeling of, God dang, you know?
Yeah. You probably felt every bit of it.
Oh, yeah. There's no question. So, GhostNinja, check internal chat and give me a yes or no on that.
Oh, let me take a look. Oh, yeah, it's already done.
Oh, you already did it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, good. All right. Awesome. All right. You boys hold down the fort. It's time for my third rum and coke. This is going to be an epic night.
Oh, man. Tim's pushing it.
I can feel the epic. Be right back.
Yeah. All I got is the 99. Go ahead.
I didn't think I was going to make it at all tonight. I got to actually be somewhere at 7 in the morning, and I was like, man, you know what?
You're good.
Let me see if they're on. Yeah, here I am.
Yeah, I've done that a few times where I've been late, stayed up late, did the hangout, and got up and ride, but it happens.
Oh, yeah, I'll still get up one time.
Yeah. Riding is riding. You know what I'm really trying to do? Since I got the 30K, I'm trying to post pictures and tag Sena and get them to fucking repost my picture. I was thinking today on my way home, I was like, man, I gotta take some like scenic pictures with 30K and see if I can get them to repost it. That was my goal. That's my goal right now. Is get them to repost a picture.
And they haven't done it yet?
No.
I saw Burning Ramen put a video out on 30K as well.
You know, a lot of people are getting them, man. I just read, no, who got one? Like, I have one. Kenny has one. Trick Wonders has one.
Yeah.
I saw a few other people that have them here. That whole mesh network is really what I'm really would like to have. The connection, like we connected like that. Like, if any of you guys have done group rides and you're trying to connect Senas, sometimes it's like it could be a hassle because it's all Bluetooth. So you got this Sena has to connect to this Sena, then this Sena has to connect to this Sena, then that Sena has to connect to this Sena, and then you have to like do magic and like use your magic wand, and then they're like boop, and you're all connected. With this one, that mesh network is literally supposed to be. There's two modes. You have a public and a private mode. All you have to do is tap it, put it in public mode, and anybody that has a Sena with the mesh network can join. Like you just one button, it does a quick scan and goes, oh, here's a mesh network, and it joins it. And then every Sena is connected to every other Sena, so there's not line of sight. You know, if you don't break out if one person leaves or anything like that. And I think that's one of the coolest things about it.
That's cool.
And it sounds really good.
I personally have not had too many issues with my 20S, other than the other party. You get that, intercom not connected or whatever.
Yeah.
But for the most part, when we get ready for a ride, you just kind of shake them next to each other, and it seems to work pretty good.
And they work.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think you can shake the 30Ks. The audio quality sounds pretty good. The one thing, I don't know if you use the Sena backpack at all.
No. I have a question on the 30K though. Is the volume louder?
What? It's not louder. It's just more crisp. Like the sound's a little more crisp and cleaner.
Because one thing that I have a problem with the 20S is once you get to about 50 or 60, just forget about talking because you can't hear.
Well, what helmet do you have? That's also a factor.
It's a Shoie RS1200.
Oh yeah, you should be good.
Yeah, that's interesting because I don't have that. I never had that problem with mine.
Shoeies and Arise are the best about quiet.
Yeah, I have the Shoie Quest, and I don't. I mean, I've never had an issue not being able to hear people, even at like 100. Okay. I'm not sure. That's interesting.
Wonder if I have a defect. I don't know, but you can't hear it.
Did you go into the settings in the app and turn the audio boost up?
There's a boost. I don't know. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. So in the Sena app, there's an audio boost. So they limit the audio level by default to a certain volume, and it can't go past that. And so once you turn on the audio boost, you lose a little bit of the bass, but your volume increases substantially.
Okay, I'll check that out.
So, but yeah, so far I love one of the things that I like about the 30K when it connects to the Sena backpack. For those of you that actually use a Sena backpack, if you're like riding in a group of people and you're using your Sena backpack, there's like a popcorn effect that you sometimes get that I didn't get at all. Plus, the damn thing just looks so badass. It looks really good. So so far it's good. I haven't really done any really big group rides. We got them last weekend, and by the time like everything was set up, it was like I had to go. So I got a tattoo last weekend.
What is it of? Show it.
It's a so my wife and my daughter wanted, like with everything that's been going on, they want to do like a family thing. And so my daughter, she turned 18, so they were looking at like tattoos, and they were looking at all this gay.
18?
I know, man. I know.
Oh my gosh, we're getting old, dude.
I know, man. So they were trying to find like a family tattoo that everyone can get, and so everything was like nope. And then finally, they found these like dinosaurs on Pinterest, and I was like,
dinosaurs like they're garbage.
Well, they found these dinosaurs on Pinterest, and it was like I could download, and they're not like dinosaur, like they're kind of cartoonish.
I like dinosaurs.
I don't know if you can see it. It's tiny. Hold on. Let me make my
Is it
main
in
screen. So
the fold of your arm? Oh yeah.
yeah, well, it's upside down because of the camera. So
Oh,
that
yeah.
one's mine,
I can tell though. Yeah.
and then that's Glitter Ninjas right there.
She got the.
And then my wife got one.
triceratops.
Yeah, she did. And then my wife got one in the same place. So,
Did you see that commercial where they are talking about being able to change their phone plan or whatever, and then they talk about their regrets of their tattoo, and then they show their back, and it's like spring break of 1996 or whatever.
yeah. So we got a couple of tattoos that we're gonna get. So my nephew had a tattoo of a V, and for his last name, and it kind of fits with my last name and the family's last name. So we're all gonna go get that tattoo. But me and my wife are gonna get. You guys know who Banksy is? That's the graffiti artist. He has this. I'll show you. Let me bring it up real quick. He has this. He's pretty famous in the sense of graffiti. He doesn't do your standard graffiti. You know, it's really like art. You know what his graffiti is.
Sounds
Let
cool.
me show you.
Pull it up.
Let me see.
Share it.
Location window, and this one.
There's a TV show I've been watching where people get tattoos that they're embarrassed by. They basically it's like
I saw.
and they do a cover up or they cover over the tattoo.
It's like fixing bad tattoos.
Yeah, and it's an interesting show too because I'll ask them stories like, "How'd you get this tattoo? Like, what inspired it?" And it's always something like, "Oh, I was dating this guy and I was really into him," and
Yeah.
So this is Banksy's type of art right here. So you can kind of see like the type of art he does. It's not like your normal art. But what I'm gonna get, my wife's gonna get, is this one. So get this tattooed, and then inside his tattoo that he had, I'm gonna put inside the balloon.
I like that. It's like faux or quasi silhouette almost.
I've seen the blue one. That's good. Yeah.
So in the balloon, so I'm only gonna get one, and that's gonna have his tattoo that he had in the balloon, and my wife's gonna get two because her aunt died 2 years ago from cancer, so she's gonna have that one, or 3 years ago. So she's gonna have one with my nephew's tattoo in it, and then one with something for her aunt.
Nice.
So
that is cool.
Pretty cool. And the tattoo shop. No one knows this yet, but the tattoo shop. No, it's okay. The tattoo shop is sponsoring our LA to SD ride with $100 gift card.
That is
someone's
super
gonna be able to win. So someone's gonna be able to get pretty much a free tattoo.
That
like
is
I thought it dope. I was like, dude, that's so sick. They were all about it. And I was like, all right, man.
Dude, you guys keep growing LA versus SD the way you have been for the last few years, and it's going to start to rival SCMM at some point.
You know, it's actually older than SCMM.
Right. Yeah, by like 2 years.
But just it's actually probably like half a year or a year because this is our fourth one, and then SCMM was the third one.
You guys did the first one in 2014, right?
Yeah, I think it was 2014.
Okay, so yeah, maybe not quite a year. You're right.
Yeah, so it's a little under, but still, I mean, I think it's still pretty cool. And we've grown pretty good. I mean, we have a lot of. We're gonna start posting more of our sponsors, and we're gonna do a lot this year. So like, we got a lot of sponsors for a lot of cool shit. But a couple of things we're gonna do is like, so like normal, like we did, everyone gets one raffle ticket, right? And then if you buy like a hoodie. Once we get all that stuff up, you'll get like I think we said, I'm not sure, so I'll put all the official stuff out soon. But you'll get X amount for a hoodie and an X amount for buying a T-shirt, to support the event. And then anytime if you go to any of our sponsors and you purchase anything from any one of the sponsors, you'll get an X amount of tickets one time, right? So to increase your chances of winning. But in the end, it doesn't matter. Everyone's going to get a free raffle ticket for showing up. So, and basically that's what we've been telling all the sponsors. Like, look, you know, we want to do this for free and give stuff away and help, you know, bring the community together. It doesn't matter what you ride, blah, blah, blah. It's pretty cool.
Freaking Monica in the side chat. Not to change the subject.
Yeah, it's been a minute, huh?
No doubt. That's cool. Monica.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. Some of the sponsors we have, it's pretty crazy, dude. Yeah, Silver Surfer Tim, he won last year so many times that finally he won like again, and we were like, bruh, and he was like,
he won 5 times.
He did. And so at the end,
luck of the Irish.
At the end, he was like, "All right, you guys can give it away." So he was cool about it and let other people win stuff. And then Red only had 1 ticket and he won a freaking helmet.
Nice.
Monica says
it's good, man.
Go ahead, finish your thought.
No.
We're bouncing the subject. I was going to say, Monica said that she's been around. She's been watching Twitch feed. Everybody's Twitch feeds a lot, apparently. What's that song by?
With everything going on YouTube, growing your other media outlets is not a bad idea.
Yeah. What's that song by Everclear called Santa Monica or something like that?
Oh, he's got his guitar.
I don't know. I can't remember how it went.
I don't.
Oh, I think it was in C, not B. I think it was. I don't even remember the lyrics. Every time Monica comes onto the side chat, I always think of every
song gets in your head. Yeah.
Oh man. Well, I am glad to see all that stuff growing out on the West Coast. SCMN.
Yeah, man, it's cool.
It's just such a motorcycle mecca out there, and it's just so perfect. Like, you know, like you say, you literally ride your motorcycle to work every single day.
Yeah, every day.
It's archetypal motorcycle weather out there.
You know, it's funny because when I used to have 2 cars, and I bought my motorcycle, my first motorcycle, and my car broke down. My car broke down literally like 3 days later, right? I got it towed to my house. I never touched it. 2 years later, I was like, I should try to get this car fixed. And then I had someone take a look at it, and then it was like, fuck it, let's just sell it. And I ended up selling the car, and so.
Yep.
But like 3 days after I got my bike, like that was it. Like I was done.
Dude, I know exactly what you're talking about. Dude, my truck is 10 years old and it has 60,000 miles on it. I ride motorcycles, dude. I'm right there with you. I mean, we have a little bit more bad weather here than you guys do there. But, you know, we're like you in the sense that you can, for the most part, ride motorcycles all year round. Yeah. Yeah, we don't have, you know, in January it can be sketch. December, January, and maybe in the beginning of February it can be sketch, but pretty much the rest of the year. We do
get rain. Yeah. We get rain, but it's more like sprinkles in January. That's always the worry about our ride is that it's in January and it rains maybe a week out of the month, maybe a little bit more. So we've been super lucky that every time, like even the last meetup, it was raining the entire week before the meetup, and I was like, oh my god, this is not good. And it rained up until the day before, and then the day of it just cleared up, and we were out there, and it was great because after it's been raining, that smell from the road,
and
and the trees and the grass and the air just feels really crisp and clean. It was like, I just remember me and Bash and who else was it? Me was on the intercoms, and we were like, man, what a perfect freaking day, you know?
Yeah,
it was just awesome.
I didn't ride this morning because it was raining, but I came home at lunch to check on my stupid dog. And by that time, it had been the way the rain kind of works. If it's a light rain in West Texas, is that if you get an overnight rain, it's all dried up and evaporated by lunchtime. So I left for lunch around 1:30. It came to the house to check on the dog and that sort of thing. I thought, man, let's pick a bike to ride back to work. And so I rode
such an awesome thing to have, though. Yeah. Be like, oh, what bike do I want to ride to work?
So I rode the Triumph back, and it was exactly like that. Like, you could smell what we have out here. We have the two main things we have outside of mesquite and cactus are we have these two plants. Most people look at them and think that's just a weed, but they're called nettle and thistle. We have thistle and nettle.
I've heard of thistle. Okay. I don't think I've heard of nettle.
And when they get wet, they have a very distinctive aroma to them. And one of my favorite things, besides riding through spring wildflowers in Texas or bluebonnets in Texas on a motorcycle in the springtime, is in the fall riding through the thistle and the nettle. It has sort of the same effect on me emotionally. And
the smell, yeah. Oh man, it does. It's like a cleansing type of ride, because like I said, the air is like very crisp. Like every time you breathe in, you just feel it's really crisp. And then the smells from like the wet asphalt, and the asphalt's completely clean at that point as well. You're not looking, there's no grease, there's nothing on the road.
Yeah, you smell that creosote that's in the asphalt.
Oh man, I was just gonna say, in Arizona they have the creosote bush, and it smells so good and wet.
Well, yeah. And then because we don't get a lot of rain, when it rains for a week, everything's green, like super green, and so it's rare that we get to see like everything really green. So it's pretty cool. Yeah. So we've been fortunate with that, but we're gonna start promoting the event a bit earlier this year to try to build some anticipation and see how we can do this. I'm having problems finding a restaurant that will host us.
Yeah,
the restaurant we had a really good relationship with Tilted Kilt. They were gonna.
You're just dealing with the normal growing pains, though.
Yeah. So I'm having problems. Like, I'm like, here's an estimate, a rough estimate of the amount of people, and it's like, no.
You're kind of getting to that point where if you outgrow it, it might be better to look for food trucks and find a venue where you can have the trucks parked.
Oh, I have a venue. That's not a problem. Our biggest sponsors, South Bay Motorsports, we have their entire parking lot. They have a giant parking lot, and we have their whole parking lot. They're like, and they've even said, you want food? We'll give you free food. We'll give you ice cream. We'll put up tents, all free, all for the event. They'll take care of everything. But we like to meet people there, hang out, and then go for a ride, and then go to a restaurant and end at the restaurant. So that's the thing. So if I can't find a restaurant, then we're gonna have to find another meeting spot, and then ride to there. So, but yeah, you're right. It's kind of like a growing pain. I even tried to go to Stone Brewery, and they were like, no, we don't own the parking lot. We can't do that.
Well, my buddy Mitch is not at Stone Brewery anymore, so I'm sure it sucks now. Mitch Steele, man, he's the guy. All of our favorite recipes that we love from Stone, like Arrogant Bastard was his, Stone IPA was his, all the pepper beers, he had a hand in all of that. Well, now Mitch is working on. Mitch is also a fellow musician, by the way. But anyway, he's started a new brewery with a group of partners. They're there in the San Diego area, and it's going to be
called?
I ain't gonna say it. I'm gonna wait until he.
Oh,
announces
is
all
it
of
a new brewery?
It's brand new. In fact,
Oh, okay.
they're just this coming up week, next week, they're getting all of their full authorization to fire everything up and start brewing. Everything's in
Nice.
place. They've got all of their ingredients and everything ready to go to start brewing beer, and it should start next week. So
yeah, I know this kid. I know this guy who, before I got into the career I'm in, we worked at Fry's Electronics and going to school and all that. And he was going to school, and he graduated with a business degree, but his passion was home brewing, and that's all he did. And then he became a brewer at one of the brewers. Like, he worked his way up to one of the head brewers at Karl Strauss.
wow.
And then they started a whole new company called Abnormal Beer Company, and he became their master brewer.
I know Abnormal Beer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Derek Gallinosis, I think. I can't pronounce his name. He was one of their master brewers there, and he just left the company, and he's going up to open a new one up in like Seattle or something like that. But that kid, man, he was like teaching classes at San Diego State about microbrewing and all that stuff. It was pretty cool to see him. Pretty cool to see him progress, you know. And not only that, it's like that was his passion. It was cool because he would he would come to work and like from Karl Strauss, and you know, some of the he'd have bottles with labels missing, and so he'd have a truck full of beer and be like, "Oh, you need beer?" And he would just give me beer. that's how I got into Karl Strauss. I was like, "Hell yeah, I'll take free beer."
Well, I'll tell you straight up, man. I mean, you know, I've been brewing beer for close to 20 years now, about 18 years now. My claim to fame in brewing is this. One of my beers was rated excellent by Sam Adams in the long shot.
Oh, nice.
So that was 2014. My ginger beer got rated excellent. And the only reason it didn't make it to finals is because there are 5 levels of ratings. And it's poor, fair, good, excellent, excellent, and outstanding, or something like that. I can't remember. It's 5 levels, and I was at 4, and so I didn't.
That's still freaking nothing to me. That's definitely something.
I'm proud of it. I mean, obviously, I'm talking about.
Did you save that recipe?
Oh yeah, I brew it all the time. Yeah,
it's nice.
the one that I brought to SCMM in 2015.
Oh, okay,
I brought 2 gallons of it, and it was gone in like 8
Yeah,
seconds.
I remember that one.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but I will tell you this, as an experienced brewer and a guy who I feel like, not tooting my own horn, but I feel like I brew really good beers. California has the best beer in America. Nobody is making better beers right now than California is.
I don't know. I would contest that one.
Well, now, and there's some good stuff going on in Texas, because we have like Jester King, for example, and we have, you know, Twisted X. I mean, we have some good brewing.
512.
We have 512. We have Avery. We got tons of shit here.
Yeah.
But RTV, have you ever had a Firestone Walker beer?
Possibly. I can't recall.
Okay,
I've tried so many different varieties. I tried that 801. I was not a fan of it.
Yeah, well, there are some California beers I don't like, but I feel like California really has the leading edge on it right now, even though Colorado has amazing, dude, they've got so much stuff. They've got, well, actually, Avery is in Colorado. I meant to say St. Arnold when I said Avery earlier. St. Arnold is a Texas beer. Avery is a Colorado beer. Colorado has great beers. Texas is getting to be where it has a good reputation for beers. But everything that everyone's copying is coming out of California. And that's stuff like Stone and Firestone Walker and all of these.
Red Trolley.
Red Trolley's pretty good. You can actually buy that here in Austin at the
Red Trolley. Well, Karl Strauss and Stone, and even now the Coronado Brewing Company. Those 3 you're starting to see all over. Snowcat actually messaged me like the other day because they opened up like I guess kind of like a Bevmo thing, I think, or something, like some new beer place, and they had Coronado beer there, and I was like, oh, that's fucking cool, man. That shit's
Nice.
going all over. Coronado Brewing Company has some good beer.
Yeah,
Well, I'll tell you,
But you get,
one thing to try
you gotta tell me
if you're in the areas.
when your friend.
I was
go
gonna say, Independence Ale is a
Yeah.
really delicious beer, and 512.
yeah, Independence is really good. And also, I don't know if you've had freaking Carbach. Have you had any of their stuff?
I have not.
That's another good Texas beer, and they have some. I have said the word amazing too many times tonight on this hangout, but and that's one of those stupid fucking words.
You're giving me a really good idea, Tim. Next SEMM, very into like you, me, Neil, and it sounds like you like all of us are kind of really into like good beer. Is to like go around, buy a bunch of craft beer, set up cameras, and just go through drinking craft beers.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Okay,
Video doing that. I think that would be really cool.
And it should be said, since we mentioned Neil, that Michigan, dude, they've got Independence Brewery. They have a lot. There's a lot of good stuff going on up there too, man. So anyway, yeah, I'm all for that. In fact, my next video may be actually a brewing video. I've captured a whole bunch.
I really liked your last one, so that'd be cool to see.
Thanks. Well, this one that I've been capturing footage for and debating whether or not to make a video out of it is for the holiday cider. So that's something totally different than a beer. A lot of people, in fact, if you look back through that last brewing video I did, that's from mashing in the grain to drinking it from the glass.
Yeah.
Everybody asked me, how hard is this to do? I'm interested in doing this. So I did a cider, and it's fermenting right now. It's out in the garage in the fermentation chamber doing its thing. And I've videotaped all of that so far. And so my whole angle for that was that I could say, hey, look, if you don't have all of the equipment to do a full brewing session where you have to boil beer and do a wort and do all of the stuff associated with lautering and doing sparges and mashes and all that stuff, you can make a cider really easy because you don't have to boil anything. You don't have to mash anything. You just basically take your cider, you pour it into your fermenter, and you put yeast in it and I made a brown sugar syrup to go into it too, and the spices and all that. So that's what I'm working on right now, and that may be the next video, and hopefully it'll pique more people's interest in that sort of thing, because I'm doing a holiday lager and a holiday cider, and that's the cider that I'm working on right now.
It's a different angle.
Yeah.
There's a place I stopped at when I was heading to Yosemite, and they made a hot kind of a Christmas kind of beverage with wine, and it was basically wine with cloves and all these different spices. It was actually quite good.
It seems like I've heard of something like that before. Does it have wine and cloves and cinnamon and orange and
yes, something very.
God dang!
It was.
There's it's called mulled wine. Is that what it's called?
I really don't know what they called it, but we tried it and it was delicious.
Okay, it's probably a mulled wine or something that's a variation on that. But that's beginning to be a really big thing, is mulled wines. They do exactly what you're talking about. And I have not had one yet, but I would be very interested in having one. Basically,
cider, hot toddy is actually not with wine.
That's whiskey.
Whiskey, yeah.
Yeah. Whiskey, lemon, and honey, and sugar.
And, cloves. We use whole cloves.
Yeah, you can put cloves in them, yeah. Yeah.
Make a crock cocktail? I don't know what that is. Oh, what I was going to say is when your friend opens up a brewery every year, you got to let me know. I'll go check it out.
Well, we're about to get a new one here. One of the guys that's in my brewing club just got a grant to start a brewery.
A grant to start one? That's cool.
Yeah. So what it comes down to is that our Convention and Visitors Bureau, our economic development chamber, they have more money than they know what to do with. And he applied for a grant to start a brewery. And they were like, yeah, here's a pile of money. I need to figure out how to do that. Hey, I have this idea. Fund it.
Yeah. Oh, beer. Beer is good. Beer is pretty delicious.
Beer is life. Beer is flüssiges Brot.
You know, it's interesting because if you look at the history of the United States, beer plays a major role, and liquor in general, you know, in the history of the United States. It's kind of interesting how integrated it is. And then how they fucked up when they tried to ban it.
Yeah.
Good times.
Mhm. Das flüssiges Brot. Wir trinken flüssiges Brot und ich spreche Deutsch. For keine Raison. So, there you go. Just start randomly speaking German for no reason. It's my Texas roots. What can I say? Yeah, Max Booth says that mulled wine is hit and miss. So, here's an interesting thing that Max Booth brings up in the side chat. He talks about how the main reason that it's hit and miss is that people overspice it. And that is a big thing in like mead making, overspicing mead, rum making, overspicing rum. So I just thought that was kind of an interesting point, is that people that's kind of an American attitude. If a little is good, then a whole bunch is even better. Well, that's not necessarily true.
That's funny.
Yeah. Max Booz with one of the best Instagram channels on that particular website, by the way. You guys all need to go follow him on Instagram because his stuff is hilarious. For sure.
Yeah, Max Booz is a good dude.
Yep.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes, yeah.
He's an edgy guy.
He is edgy. Yeah, he is edgy. He does cross the line. He's kind of like Nero in that he's really funny and a really good dude, but he kind of crosses that line sometimes where you go, maybe you shouldn't have done that shit. You don't have to go there to be funny. You're really smart,
Yeah.
I really hate that Nero took down all of his videos, and I just miss his videos. I wish he was still making them. I get a feeling
you see Miss Icy caught some flack for her last video.
I have that on my watch later list, but I have not been able to get to it yet.
Why did she catch flack?
So from what I seen, I just saw her post on Instagram, and then I kind of went to take a look and see what the deal was. Her last video where she's like
the stalker, right?
No, where she's touching the side of big rigs while she's riding.
Oh, I missed that one.
Yeah.
And it looks like, from what I can gather, it looks like a I don't want to say a forum, but a paper for a big rig. It looked like it was like a news article from a company involved with big rigs and trucking industry. They wrote a whole piece on her and that video. It's kind of interesting.
I'm gonna have to get to that. I saved it, but I haven't had to watch it. I have like 35 videos in my watch later list right now.
Yeah, I haven't been doing much YouTubing.
Well, it's what I figured out is that working 40 or 50 hours a week at a day job, which I haven't had to do in like 5 or 6 years, it impedes your ability to watch YouTube videos. So I have these really long watch later lists right now, but I get to all of them eventually. In fact, I just commented on a bunch of videos from like 3 days ago. So
yeah, if you guys follow Miss Icy and you go see her post, she posted about it. Basically, just take the title of the screenshot in Google, and you'll find the article. But yeah, interesting stuff.
So is the article they're angry that she's?
Yeah, it seems they're not like it's actually not as bad as I thought it would be, but they do. they kind of give a subtle like, "What are you doing?" kind of attitude in the article.
Okay. I could see that. I mean, as a truck driver, I'm not a truck driver, but I'm just saying from their point of view, they probably can't see you as it is. And if you're that close, they really can't see you.
Yeah. I mean, it's a risk for sure, but, you take that risk. Like they say every time you get on the bike. Oh.
The trick about risk on a motorcycle is that I always see this, and I always hear this in the motovlogging world especially. I accept the risk. When you ride a motorcycle, you have to accept the risk.
Yeah.
Okay, that's true. That is true. But that's half of it. Once you accept the risk, then you have to take on the responsibility of managing the risk. So it's not just about thinking to yourself, hey, this is risky, and I accept it, and I'm going to be a complete imbecile. It's not about that. It's about accepting the risk, but then taking the intelligent and reasonable steps to mitigate and manage the risk of riding a motorcycle. That's what never gets talked about when we come to this philosophical point in being a motorcyclist. So something to think about. Another little nugget.
Food for thought.
Of food for thought, yeah.
Yeah. So Salty Rider made a comment about he never rides next to rigs after seeing a tire blow out.
Yeah, I don't either. I get past them as fast as possible.
If you've ever driven behind a rig and you see a tire blow out,
that'll push you. You're gonna come right off your bike.
Yeah. You can literally see the sound wave. It's like the explosion is so drastic.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny. I went around you can hear when the tires are bad on a rig when you're on your motorcycle. They make noise. Those tires are like wah 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 wah. They make a weird noise, and I'm not staying near this rig on my motorcycle. And I blasted past one day on the interstate, on Interstate 20, and we stopped at this truck stop in Big Spring, Texas. So we were coming from Colorado City, Texas to Big Spring, Texas, and we stopped at a TA truck stop. And we were standing around, drinking a Red Bull, talking and all this other kind of stuff, taking a break. And a DPS trooper pulls up right beside us, and he says, "You guys were going really fast, and he was telling us all the stuff we did. He was watching us pretty closely, but he couldn't catch up to us. And he happened to see us at this truck stop." And I was like, yeah, I said, here's the deal. I mean, I'll level with you right now. That truck he had some tires, at least one tire on that trailer that was making a bunch of noise. I didn't want to be near it because all you need to do is have one tire blow out on you and you have tire tread and alligator in your face.
Yep.
And I said, we just wanted to get around that and get away from it as quickly as possible. And that's what it comes down to. And if you want to write us tickets, that's fine, but that's what we were doing, and that's why we behaved the way we did. And he was like, what? He said, I never really thought about that. He said, I don't ride motorcycles or anything, and he said, it seems reasonable to me. He said, my advice to you guys from now on would be that to slow down instead of speed up. And I was like, well. Okay,
it's still be in front of you.
I didn't argue with him because he obviously he said he was not a motorcycle rider, but I felt like saying no, that can get you in just as much trouble.
Yeah.
See, Vegas Girl said they used it as an example on the CDL licensing driving school website, so that's what it was. It was
okay.
But she's right because it was just like I just saw a bunch of ads for trucking and shit.
Dude, that's such a freaking Australian term. Truckers in Australia are called truckies. You see where Max Booth said, get a flag and wave it at the truckies.
Oh, yeah,
They don't call them truckers over there. They call them truckies. It seems
probably
weird.
Subtle differences.
Subtle differences in the English, if you want to call it that language.
In English.
All right, I'm going to go see a man about a horse. I'll be right back.
Man about a horse. Dude, that dude looks really comfy on that Grom. That looks like a big dude riding that Grom.
All right, I'm gonna get a refill. I will be right back.
All right. I mean, the Groms already look small, but now you're making it look extra small.
Hello, did I make it in here?
Whoa, what up? How's it going?
Hey, how are you guys?
Everyone just went to grab beer, and Tim went to see a man about a horse.
Would you guys mind if I invited my BF? He's been interested in hangouts, but feels kind of shy, and with the small panel, I figure it's the perfect chance.
Go for it. It's fine. So you're driving? Or
yeah, so I just picked up my car from Indiana.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I tried to have the transmission repaired, and it was still broken when I got it back. So, I had to send my whole car to the guy instead of just the transmission.
Oh, okay.
And so he's had my car for 2-3 weeks, and I just got it back today. Like right now, I just got it. So it's a 3-hour drive from my house to this guy's house.
I had to mute him. He's got all kinds of noise going on. Maybe fixing his mic.
Yeah, he's very new.
Oh, okay.
So, dear, unmute yourself if you want to talk. You have to kind of try to be quiet, or they can hear everything.
Yeah.
Hey, the town grew.
Yeah, you came back and we're up to,
man.
I figured out how my phone worked.
So did you have to get the hangout? Oh, man. Oh, that hurt. Yeah. Does he have a mic? Or is he like, what is he using?
He's using his cell phone the same as I. I don't know why he's getting so much feedback noise. Are your windows rolled up, Bryce? Because you're getting a lot of weird background feedback.
Yeah.
It's the aliens.
Finally, we got more people. It's E-Heart. What's up, girl?
Hey, I figured out how my phone works. So no, I got a new phone, and what it kept doing when I clicked on it was routing me to an internet web page to the Play Store to like re-download.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, and it wasn't letting me in. I had to go inside the settings and tell it that it wasn't allowed to open web pages for it to give me the option for it to be an app.
Oh my gosh.
Huh.
Of course, with Google, nothing can be easy, right?
Exactly. Well, I love it too. They make changes all the time and they don't tell you. So it's like, surprise, surprise, something's new and different.
Oh my gosh. And then somebody else called Bryce. Who's that?
That would be my boyfriend.
Okay, cool.
So he's trying to be in here, but he's having some background noise feedback issues.
He'll get it figured out.
Yeah, Tim, if you were at SEMM 2017, you would have met Bryce.
Oh, yeah, I did meet him.
That's all right. You guys come back out for 18. I always told myself I would never miss an SEMM, but I had exigent circumstances, but I won't miss another one. I'm telling you right now.
I get that.
You learned your lesson.
Yeah, if we come back, we got to find a way to do it cheaper, dude. We spent so much money when we came out there; it wasn't even funny.
Yeah.
Well, it was all those visits to the Green Crosses, E-Heart.
Yeah.
Oh, I just did one visit. I just bought well the first time.
That's cool. So did you change your drink up, or you drinking the same thing?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I still got that freaking Sailor Jerry spiced rum and Diet Coke, Diet caffeine-free Coke. It's a really good rum, and here's what's happening. When I first started making these at the beginning of the night, they were like 1 part rum and 2 parts Coke. Now they're like two parts rum and 1 part Coke. Yeah.
Yeah. As the night goes on, eventually it's just rum. You're like, man, I don't even want to go get the Coke. It's just I'm just gonna drink it straight from the bottle.
Yeah.
So
X1 said, I got to see you next year. And you will, believe me. I'm not going to miss another one. It's just we already talked about it at the beginning of the hangout, so I won't rehash it. But it was just shit just did not work out. But what I was building and working toward is something that's really great. It was nothing bad why I had to miss it. It was all good stuff. I just had to invest the time in it. And so now I'll be all set up for a great trip in 2018.
That's awesome. That'll be awesome.
Oh yeah.
So is there any more word? Like, is it? I keep getting whiffs of it might not be at Palm Springs next year. It might be someplace else. Like, I don't know. I'd like to know for sure when and if that actually is gonna pan out.
You'll know in April.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So nobody will know until April.
Well, some people know, and I've received a text message during this hangout telling me where it's going to be, and I'm not going to say because I was asked.
Okay. Well, I already know whose brain to go pick. I'll do that on my own.
They don't want. I understand why they don't want to release it yet, so it's all good. But it'll work out. There will be a place for everybody to stay, and it'll be really cool. So.
Okay, but it will be with better temperatures. Like, I was kind of miserable, I won't lie. It was nice and different than Michigan, but it took me like a good, I don't know, 2 days to adjust to the temperatures, which left me with a migraine while I was adjusting.
Well, I'm not going to say, but I will leave you a little internal message, I guess, without even revealing where it's going to be or what it's going to be.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to show you.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Another 2 whiskeys and you might have got something there.
Rums.
Oh yeah, rums. Yeah.
So
some spiced rum.
Vegas Girls has the correct response there.
A top secret new shithole. That actually is a very perfect way of describing it. So, I'm just looking forward to it, you know.
Oh man, it's a blast, and it was hot, but the cold beer cools you down.
It does.
The cold beer is quite delicious on a hot day.
It's just for me, you know. Southern California is just an absolute mecca for riding a motorcycle. I ride in West Texas. You know, watch a few of my videos. Watch I'm trying to think of the ones that are the most desolate. Watch Artesian Wells. Watch that episode. That shows you just how desolate West Texas is. And when you get to Southern California,
I mean, I don't know. Okay, so we stayed some extra time in California, and after SCMM, some people had recommended that we go check out like the Salton Sea. Now that to me was some desolate shit. Dude.
Well, there are no good motorcycle roads at Salton Sea, but you do get to experience the Salton Sea for itself. But I'm
right now. See, we didn't have bikes when we came out there. The bike rentals were just so expensive. I was just like, with all of our other expenses, I don't know. So we just rented the Camaro SS and had some fun with that instead.
No,
nice.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
No,
but your Southern California epic motorcycle roads are like Palomar and Idlewild and Lake Arrowhead and Ortega Highway and Mulholland.
I've heard of Ortega and Mulholland.
Yeah, I mean, they're so fucking incredible.
Now, how far apart are all these places from one another?
They're real far apart. Like,
okay.
Yeah, like Idlewild and Mulholland, that's like 120 miles, wouldn't you say, Ghost? Something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, it's spread out over a very wide area, but you have some incredible motorcycling experiences on those roads. But, yeah, Salton Sea is, you go there to see the Salton Sea, and you go to see all of those old gooky and space age mid-century modern buildings that were abandoned as the lake turned to a Salton reservoir of poison, basically.
everything was abandoned.
Right.
There were just like dead fish all over the place. There were certain spots. I have a video. It'll be coming out pretty soon. But yeah, I do have some clips of me basically gagging at the Salton Sea in there. I'm like, I can't do it.
It's definitely it's an experience unlike any other on the earth that you can experience. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I love it
But
though.
yeah, that was as desolate as I could possibly imagine right now. So is that more desolate than West Texas? I'm guessing yes.
The thing, well, it's desolate in a different way. So, like, if you go to Salton Sea, whether you're on the north side or the south side, you're still surrounded by mountains, and
Yes.
you have the sea there. In West Texas, it's literally just flat plains for hundreds of miles in all directions with brush.
Oh, okay. Now, see, when we were leaving the Salton Sea area, we didn't go back in the same way that we came out. We ended up, like, I don't even know how to put it. Like, wasn't main freeway. It was like a nice back road, paved, but like mountain range after mountain range after mountain range. And in between each range, it was like just flat land. And then you'd go over and up the next range, and it would be flat land and over and up the next range. And that was kind of crazy, too.
Yeah.
Hey, Ehart, did you guys get a chance to drive up PCH5?
No. Unfortunately.
Do that next time, man. That is nice. It's called PCH. It's on I-5. Sorry.
Yeah, no. So, like, after we left that area, we went up into the Sequoia National Forest in Kings Canyon. So we kind of turned it more toward, I guess, sightseeing since we didn't have bikes. So we covered, to put it this way, we covered 1,400 miles that week.
That's awesome.
It was pretty awesome.
It would have been hard to do that. Well, let's see. What does that work out to? 200 miles a day over a course of a week. That's a lot of work on a motorcycle. It's much
it is
in a muscle car. Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely, the muscle car was nice.
Yeah.
I won't lie. I was sad I had to give it back. I'm like, can we just cancel the plane and drive it home? I'm not kidding, though.
What is that, like 1,500 miles from Southern California back to Michigan?
Oh, no, it's like 22 and some change.
Oh!
Yeah, it's like 32-hour drive.
Damn. It's from Desert Lodge's parking lot to my driveway is 1,001 miles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's like when I Googled it was like 2,200 and either 30 or 50 or something like that.
Golly.
Yeah, we
yeah, that's Austin. Where I was like, if I'm coming, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, the bike's not going to make it. The only way I'm coming is on a plane.
Hey, the important thing is you guys were there. So
that's right.
Right.
Yeah, I've got it all figured out for this coming year. I'm just going to fly in, and then I'm going to rent a bike like I did at the first SEMM, and it's going to be badass. So,
I think if I go next year, and I plan on going next year, I think I'm just going to fly in. And not even worry about the bike.
Dude, if you book it right now,
if you're going for the event, man, it's you just go hang out while everyone goes to. Goes down to Chaparral for a couple of hours, and then you get to hang out in the empty pool for a while, and then
here's the deal.
Back and it's like normal.
I was gonna say here was my thing on the whole bike rental. So I'm gonna pay how much money to ride it for maybe 2 hours, because I'm gonna ride it to Chaparral and back. I'm like, if I were gonna ride one and I wanted to ride it in California, honestly, I would wait until SCMM is over and go rent it on Sunday and spend all day on it.
Yeah. So
not for the Chaparral,
Here's how we rented in SCMM 2015. We did 2 days, and here's the trick: with Eagle Rider, you rent a Sportster, and it's like. And here's another thing: join the AMA because it gets you like a 15% discount. I got my bike for like $80 a day.
Oh, wow. See, we were getting like numbers like 200 a day, even for cruisers. And I was like, fuck that.
Yeah, that's too much. But for a couple of days, less than $200, it worked out perfectly. So I'm going to do that again. But
Where did you rent from?
Eagle Rider.
That's where we looked at was Eagle, and we were seeing 200 for cruiser bikes.
Here's the
Just like,
question:
what?
How far out did you look as well?
Yeah, rent from the one in Palm Desert.
Okay, I think we just looked at the one at LA.
Get a Sportster and rent it from the one in Palm Desert, and you'll get it for. And if you're an AMA member and you get the 10 or 15% discount, see, I got what were my discounts? A motorcycle safety instructor discount and an AMA discount. So it ended up being like, I don't know, $79 a day or something. But you guys could probably get it for $89 a day. Get a
That's
Sportster.
not bad. Yeah, that was not the prices. Now, see, we also waited until last minute. I don't know if you booked in advance.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
The
I
last
booked like
minute part is
6
gonna
months in
kill you.
advance. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't even decide we were coming until like for sure 10 days beforehand.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you guys will book like as soon as Suburban Delinquent makes the announcement, which will probably be in April, maybe May at the latest, early May, book right then. Like call Eagle Rider or get on their website and say, "Hey man, I need 2 Sportster 883s or 2 Sportster 1200s for these 3 days or 4 days." In the first part of August, and yeah, I'm an AMA member. Give me my 10%, and you'll get them for less than $100 a day.
I'll have to keep that in mind for
Yep.
sure.
Yep.
Yeah, at the prices we were being quoted, it's like, yeah, we're gonna end up walking away by the time it's said and done. 250, and we're still riding 2 up.
Yeah,
And I'm like, fuck that.
well, I'm telling you straight up, if you're trying to rent baggers like Shade Tree Surgeon did, you're not going to get them for $79 or $89 a day. It's going to be like
Well, what I was
$180.
figuring too with the time frame that we were looking at is that their cheaper bikes must have already been rented out for the week because we were not seeing those cheaper options.
Yeah. More Bad Ideas came out in 2014 or 2015 to Southern California and rode with BXD and Sub D, and he rented a Bonneville, and I think he got it for like $110 a day. He told me. So there are bargains to be had. You just have to do it right.
Right.
Yeah. But that's what I'm going to do this coming year.
That was kind of right.
That was my Fuzzbuster. There's a cop in the vicinity somewhere.
Sounded like Laser.
No, that's a KA band, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've got a Cobra, and the Laser sounds a little bit like that.
Okay. Yeah, my Laser makes a little different noise. I'm using the Passport Escort.
Dang, you better slow down. They're painting you like a fence.
Right? I'm wondering if he's behind me somewhere, flipping it on and off now.
He could be. You could be getting a reflection of something too, like if you're around metal buildings or something, you could be getting a reflection of it.
Possibly, but I'm in the middle of fucking nowhere right now.
KA band is literally RF trash when it comes to radar stuff. It's the oldest, worst radar band of all of them.
Right. Most of the cops around here don't use K. It's usually KA, Laser, or something new called Pop.
Ooh, I don't have that on my Cobras.
Yes, they have a new one that's called Pop. And unless your thing is made to read it, it won't read it. However, I'd say only maybe 5% is ever a Pop. You're not missing out on much.
Apparently, it's very popular in California. It says here
Okay.
that, hold on a second, I'm reading up. It says that, here's an article I found that says that POP mode is fundamentally flawed and it can be very inaccurate. That's weird.
It sounds like he would be used in California.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
They're like, we can probably get that cheap.
Yeah, my Fuzzbuster accompanied me in Cali for sure. It came in handy too.
Man, California's pretty strict, right, Ghost? We saw a Harley rider. I'm guessing he was doing 100 miles an hour. He went to jail.
Yeah, 100 is going to put you in jail.
Yeah, they could have arrested me multiple times that week.
We have 85 mile an hour speed limits out here. 100 miles an hour gets you a warning, and West
Yeah.
Texas.
Well, you got to remember all our freeways are 65.
Yeah.
I have no idea what 100 miles an hour technically gets you in Michigan. I don't have a clue.
Dude, this
Can you even ride 100 miles with those roads out there?
Yeah, absolutely. Indeedly. They're all straight. They might be shit, but they're all straight. So,
Straight. Yeah.
So, all right. So here's something interesting. POP radar is a type of radar specifically designed to defeat radar detectors. It is
really?
Yeah. So it says that. Hold on here. It's a very, very short burst of radar, and it's saying, based on the graph I'm looking at, it looks like 16 to 50 milliseconds. It's designed to be just long enough to register a vehicle's speed, but too short for most radar detectors to pick it up, detect it, and give you a warning. But
okay, gotcha.
So the problem with that they're saying is that it's such a short burst that it can result in inaccurate readings on the cop's radar gun.
Oh, okay. Now, isn't that the same concept as a laser, though? A super short burst, so you can't detect them prior?
Right, but the thing with laser is, and since I used to be a cop, I can tell you straight up that even 15, 20 years ago, laser was extremely accurate because it makes mathematical calculations based on itself. And so, without going into a bunch of minutia, radar is extremely accurate. But this POP radar is basically a take on K-band that short burst at a very high amplitude is what I'm reading.
Okay. And then the cops get inaccurate readings.
It can, yeah. So there's reflections, and there's tangent errors and cosine errors, and all that stuff gets amplified.
Which means a good lawyer should get you off the hook.
Right.
Okay. So that's a whole other thing of radar for me to read up on at some later date. I'm bookmarking this.
Yeah, like I said, it's so rare that I really get a K. It's a pop. It's a very small percentage. I would say, I don't know, 80 to 85 are all KAs, 10% are maybe lasers, and that last 5 pop.
Okay, I'm going to dig into this because it's interesting, but I can't do it right now because I'm drunk on rum. You ever be you're at that point where you're just so drunk or you're just so high where you look at something and it does,
5 times.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense at first, and it's like being dyslexic or something. Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah.
You're just not right now.
Yeah,
I'm there.
Yeah, but drunk and not high. Oh,
that's funny.
Yeah, that was funny. Sober.
Later, Vegas, go. Have a good night. Agent Solo, what up? Welcome to the stream.
What's up?
Lord Pepe.
Great name. But why 25? Lord Pepe, why are you Lord Pepe 25? Were you born in 1925? Or are you almost 100 years old? He's got the Pepe meme as his avatar. Why is it that when you put something in the translator, he asks, and then translate it again, it changes all its meanings? Okay, I have the answer to that. Because I follow 3 Japanese moto vloggers, and I want to be able to communicate with them somewhat accurately. So here's what you do. You go to Google Translate, and you type in what you want to type in. And this is very important. You use no idioms, no slang, nothing like that. You want to be very clinical in what you're saying. Okay, and then you translate it to, in my case, Japanese. Then here's what you do next. You take the Japanese translation and you copy it to your clipboard. You put it back into the translate and translate it back to English and see where it fucked up. And then you see
I've done things like that. They don't match up. They do. They get misconstrued in the translation.
Absolutely they do. So that's why it's useful to do the double translation, because what happens then is that it helps you clean your language up a little bit better, and then you can copy your cleaned up language in English back into the translator once again, and then translate it to say Japanese or some non-Latin language or non-Romantic language, and you get the tighter or more accurate translation. That's how I do
You
it.
got a lot of cops out there.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the problem with language. Some languages take the subject and the topic, it gets reversed.
It does.
Yeah. And what it comes from is that a lot of it comes down to idiom, and it comes down to slang, and it comes down to colloquialism. If you can eliminate those three things and speak in very legal terms, you'll have a better translation using Google Translate. Because if I say, "What's up, motherfucker?" and I translate that to Japanese, that may be very, very offensive in Japanese.
Right. You could have just said, "I fucked your mother" or something instead.
That's exactly right. You never know what you're going to get when
then you're going to jail.
Right. Then the FBI comes to your house.
Right.
Yeah, but it's still cool to have that feature for free.
Yeah, and Google Translate actually has come a long ways. If you kind of like translate something in Spanish to English or vice versa, it's
good.
actually pretty dang.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's pretty decent at doing that.
Is that Tim?
Yeah,
that is Tim. Tim's on one. He's gonna.
I'm just drunk enough to play guitar on a live stream. I got to stop that.
Oh man, was it last week? I got pretty smashed. After you know what you realize after losing so much weight is
you have less alcohol tolerance. I've learned that.
I was gonna say I drank one of the big bottles of a double IPA, and then I bought a 6-pack of delicious IPA, and I got through like 3 of them or 4 of them, and I was just toast, man. I was so gone.
Yep. I have less. As I've lost the last 15 pounds, getting closer to my target weight. So at work we have an inversion chair, and this is going to sound crazy, but most of the stuff I say is crazy. So so if I drink a 0-calorie Monster, like the Red Fury or whatever it is, or the Alpine White, or I'm making all this stuff up. You know what I'm talking about? The 0-calorie Monsters. So what I did yesterday was I basically slammed a 0-calorie Monster at like 2:00 in the afternoon, and I thought, man, I'm going to go take a break for a few minutes, and I'm going to get in the inversion chair at the back in the break room. And I had just drank that Monster, and then I hung upside down in the inversion chair for like 5 minutes, and it's a lot like smoking marijuana. I'm going to tell you that straight up. It was like almost a high feeling. You got all that blood in your head, and this connected somehow to what we were talking about before. Somebody help me out here.
Losing weight and
losing weight. Yeah, because I'd lost all that weight, and I think that stuff has a greater effect on me. So there, resolved. Contention resolved. Thank you all. Thanks, everyone.
You know when I realized
you think the energy drinks have a greater effect?
I think it was a combination of the weight loss and the energy drink and hanging upside down and having all the blood rush to my head. Yeah.
The way I realized it is that I was at Kenny's house and he had those tall Coors beers, the tall cans, and I had one and I felt it and I was like, huh, that's odd. That stuff it usually takes like 4 or 5 cans before I feel anything. And so last weekend, man, on the hangout, I was gone.
Well,
you
sorry.
guys-
Yeah, it was
haven't
pretty
even-
nice to last weekend myself. That's why you guys didn't see me. I drank so much, it's not even funny.
Oh, I'm drinking. Man, this Sailor Jerry's is really good. Like it doesn't.
Oh, Sailor Jerry's is
Oh,
very
it's
good,
so
yeah.
smooth, man. You just put like half and half with Coke, or
Especially for the price.
yeah. It's
And the flavor on its own is good too.
mhm. So my next thing is, as I probably already said in this hangout, is that next time it'll be black spiced rum. So this,
Oh yeah, the black pepper. I have not seen that.
yeah, we have it all over the place here, so I'm going to try some of it. It looks really good.
That sounds like Tim's gonna have a nice sleep tonight.
Oh yeah.
Fall right to sleep.
We were going to take some kind of a ride tomorrow, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I
You
didn't.
were or you are?
I need to check my phone to see if Matt or Cliff has texted me. So we have Super Faggot Force, which everyone knows about, but there's another secret IM group, and it's called Gays on Motorcycles, and that's where Britt and Cliff and Matt all live. Is in Gays on Motorcycles. Okay, so I got no information, so I'm going to anticipate as to not ride early tomorrow.
All right, I gotta pee and get gas, so I will be back.
Pee first.
Yeah, that's the plan.
You know, on our motorcycle trip, that was one of the things that was most annoying. Is when it was cold and you had all the gear on, and you had to take a piss.
Yep.
It was like, ah, man, you gotta freaking take all this stuff, and you're like,
Oh man,
no, I don't want to put this stuff on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
you didn't have the sport touring piss tube?
No. I didn't
one of
think
those,
that would advance.
What was the little gadget that Burt Reynolds had in Stroker Ace? Did you guys ever see Stroker Ace? So he had this little gadget that's basically like a tube that goes over your unit, and it has a hose that goes down to a bottle that connects to your ankle, so you can urinate anytime you want to.
Whenever?
It doesn't cause a problem. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Stroker
I'm
Ace.
sure there's some. You know. Here's the thing. A lot of inventions for that type of scenario. You just don't want to be the one that tested and have the one that doesn't work.
High risk.
Yeah. You don't want to be relieving yourself and it slips off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed. Could have just been a movie prop, though, to be, realistic. Let's look up some information on Stroker Ace, the great cinematic accomplishment that was Stroker Ace.
It's funny you mentioned that because I used to be an air crewman in the Navy, and when you had to relieve yourself, you actually would urinate into this plastic hose that had like a. It looked like no. There's no suction. It looked like a trumpet mouthpiece. It's like a big, a big piece. And I'm serious. It would go right underneath the helicopter and just free flow. So if a helicopter ever goes over you and you feel like it's like this nice misty draft, yeah, you just got pissed on, dude.
It's urine. Dude, I'm looking up information on Stroker Ace. I remember he jumped the red Trans Am across the bridge. Do you guys know what?
Oh, was that the movie was in? Yeah.
Let's look at. Let's go back to Stroker Ace images, and there should be a. Lonnie Anderson.
He was
Gosh
so
damn!
good for his time, man.
Lonnie Anderson was some piece of ass back then, dude.
You got to do the before and now picture.
Oh, dude, look at her. That was the quintessential. This was the quintessential Lonnie Anderson in the 70s. Oh my god, dude, look at that! Look at the little nip. action going on right there.
You get now look up the current version, or I mean,
no, you don't want to see the current version. Entropy exists in all systems. See, then she started to turn into a monster right there. You don't want that. You want this Lonnie Anderson right here. Oh, what?
Tim is on one tonight.
I'm on a roll.
You are.
Okay, here's another quintessential image of Lonnie Anderson, except it's not big enough.
It's a thumbnail size.
Now, I will tell you straight up that Lonnie Anderson never really did a whole lot for me, but you got to respect that. Like for 70s, she was pretty hot. But the hot women of the 70s were truly like, this is one of the chicks that did it for me. This was Adrienne Barbeau.
Those two mouthpiece on it. She'll look whatever that thing up you're talking about, Ride to Victory. See if you can find it on the internet. I'm sure you can.
Let's see. The helicopter is the MH-53 Echo, and the CH also has it.
So what did you do?
Hold on. See if I can find it. It's funny because I remember we used to tell the newbie guys, this is so if you're ever on a helicopter, we have what's called ICS, which is internal communication system.
Mm-hmm.
And we used to tell the newbie guys, because the pilot also has the same hose with that like trumpet or tuba mouthpiece, whatever. Anyways, it's for peeing in. We used to tell the noobs, if we ever lose ICS communications, you talk through this and then you put it to your ear and listen. And I'm not kidding. We had guys that were like, hello, 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 and then like put it to their ear and just listen.
Oh man, I'd be so pissed. I would be so pissed. That's like that's like every job you go to. There's always some sort of joke or prank.
Adrienne Barbeau. Yeah. See what I'm saying? 70s goodness. So ridiculous. It's so ridiculous what I'm doing right now. It's like it's a combination of dirty old man and reminiscing. So is it more dirty?
How old were you at that time?
So in 1979 I was 9. So yeah.
Yeah.
I was older. I was old enough to know I was not gay.
Old enough to know. Yeah.
I was 1.
Okay, well, we're close.
I was not born yet. I was definitely not born yet. No,
Who was another awesome 70s? Oh yeah, Ellen Mirren.
I have a feeling tonight's gonna be an early one.
Yeah,
I'm losing it here. I'm tired, man. I had a long day.
Oh yeah, she was smoking.
I don't really have any plans. I actually get to sleep in tomorrow. That's fucking amazing.
Look at that face. How hot was she?
This is awesome.
Oh, there she is in Excalibur. What?
Oh, is that who that is? Like,
yeah, she was Morgana in Excalibur. Yeah.
All right, I found it. How do I screen share?
So there's a button that's the second one down, right? It has a green. It looks like a little green. It's green with a white arrow. It says screen share, and you should be able to.
And
Yeah.
And then you wanna make sure you click on the application window so that you can really select the window that you want. Otherwise,
it's screen. Okay, screen share.
Earhart's boyfriend never made it audio-wise into this whole thing.
Okay, hold on. Let me.
It's a green box with a white arrow in it. Second one down.
And then once that window opens, check application. Go to the application tab and pick the window you want.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And don't share the freaking Hangout link.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this one.
That ISO.
All right. Can you guys see that screen?
Yes. Let me make you full screen.
Okay. Do you see this hose that comes up and there's this like mouthpiece here, whatever the hell it's called? That's what you pee in. It goes down this hose, and sorry.
Good job.
Yeah, goes down this hose and just goes right at the bottom of the aircraft.
You guys actually just expel that into the atmosphere?
Yeah.
Man, that's commercial airplanes don't do that.
Oh, it's military, man.
Yeah, military plays by their own rules. Wow.
Yeah, the pilot has one and the crew have one.
Wait, does the crew have to share?
What's that?
The crew has to share?
Well, you don't touch it. You just pee in it.
Yeah, it's like a distance thing.
Oh, so you
It's
have
like
to
peeing
aim.
on an electric fence.
So you have to have aim. Gotcha.
All right, how do I unshare without like going to
You
that
just
tab?
click on that white arrow with the
bottom.
green box. Just
No,
click
on the bottom it'll
Oh, I
say
see.
unshare.
I see. All right.
There you go. You're good. There you go. You learned a new technique.
That was my first time sharing.
Good job. Very nice.
Hey, you did it here.
I cannot wait until October 25th, so they will show what the new Kawasaki R900 or Z900 RS looks like. I'm so excited about that.
Oh, we got the motorcycle show coming up in Long Beach.
Oh yeah. Well, they're gonna release the bike on the 25th in Europe. So when is it? When is the San Diego?
The Long Beach. It's
I mean Long Beach.
It's, let me bring the date up. I forgot. Long Beach. Motorcycle show. It is November 17th.
Okay, so they may have one there. Ooh, that would be cool. All we have now is renderings.
November 17th. Oh, it's the whole weekend, right? Yeah.
Hey, Tim, are you going to come out November 11th for the TXMM?
Is that the one down in Austin?
Yeah.
It's possible. It's quite possible. That could happen. The only thing about that is, and I don't know why Modonosity decided to do that in November, because it always rains in November in Austin.
Now, what's up with that Texas motorcycle meet that they do in like March? Is that just like strictly a supermoto thing, or is that like an everyone
That's
thing?
not in Austin. That's in Dallas, and that's Jake's.
Okay.
Yeah, I will be at that one this year for sure. This coming year, yeah. I missed it last year, and Derek and Subdi and Arson and Z and a couple of and CN Cycle, they all came out to this town where I live, and we all went out and ate together, and they were all pissed off because I wasn't going to go on with them to that. So I'm going to make sure I make it. It'll be in March.
I wouldn't mind trying to make that sometime. That's like when here we start getting fucking antsy because it's not quite riding season yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's perfect here.
Are they
That'd be like the perfect trip.
Hey, Tim, are they thinking of going next year as well?
I think so. Yeah. Hopefully by March of next year, I'll have this motorcycle right here, the new Kawasaki Z900 RS. If it looks like this is just a rendition. This is just a rendering. But it was badass. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Are you still driving, Ehart?
I am, yes.
Is your boyfriend in
got,
the car with you?
No, he's in the truck in front of me because we drove out together to pick up my car, and now we're driving 2 cars back.
Oh, okay. He never got his shit sorted out.
Well, he thinks he kind of tried. I talked to him at the gas station. I was like, well, what we do with those who can't clear up their background noise is unmute yourself when you got something to say, and when you're done talking, mute yourself. Well, listen, we just don't want to hear all the background noise when you're not talking. So hopefully he'll chime in here. Says he wants to get involved, but he's kind of shy a little bit, I guess.
I think GhostNinja fell asleep. He's muted, and he hasn't talked in a while.
Right?
He might be getting a refill.
That
Wasn't
means
he saying he was getting tired?
Yeah, he said he was going to shut it off pretty quick.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah, I'm not even out of Indiana yet. I'm not even back in Michigan.
Oh my gosh. But
Yeah.
Indiana and Michigan are tiny states. Like probably 5
Compared to Texas, yes.
Yeah. Probably 5 Michigans and 5 Indianas would fit in one Texas. So
God, that's crazy. It doesn't look that way on a map, though. They definitely have like put the proportions on maps wrong.
oh yeah. Let's see here.
If you're in South Texas, it takes forever to get out of Texas.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, you can be in West Texas and you can drive for 5 hours and still be in West Texas.
Yeah.
Huh. Texas is pretty large state.
Yeah, let's do I tell you what, let's do here. Let's do maps.google.com. I'll screen share this. And we'll do let's do one side of Texas to the other just for grins. Let's do El Paso, Texas
To Brownsville.
to let's do this. Let's do Shreveport, Louisiana. And then we'll do one direction then the other. So there's Shreveport. And let's calculate the distance. That's 823 miles, 11 and a half hours of travel time.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, now do Brownsville.
All right, so let's do Brownsville.
I would say Michigan from top to bottom of the mitten, so this does not include the UP, is about 6 hours.
Yeah. It took us like 16 hours. I used to live down by Brownsville.
Yeah, so from El Paso to Brownsville is the same amount of time, 11 and a half hours. Just to get from the tip of South Texas to El Paso, Texas.
Now, see, I can leave here in an 11 and a half hours. Well, okay, not here. From my house in Michigan. I'm about an hour north of the Ohio border. To the tail of the dragon takes 11 hours. So that puts me in North Carolina 11 hours later.
Yeah.
And again, from Brownsville to Pampa, Texas is 11 and a half hours. So no matter how you slice it, it looks like getting across Texas is about 12 hours. North to south, east to west, it's about 12 hours.
Man, and if you ever drive that, it never takes 11 and a half. It's always like 15.
Oh, dude, because you have to stop, you have to get gas, you have to rest, you have to, go to the bathroom.
Eat, pee, get lost.
Yeah. No shit. Look at all these places I've been in. Tim Kreitz Adventures. Look at all the stars. Look at all the California.
Yeah, I didn't notice that you have in Cali too, huh?
2014, 2015, and 2016. That's all the California. And then there's Arizona, and there's New Mexico, and there's Texas. Look at all the Texas, man. Oh, it's a shame only under 9,000 people have seen all of this adventure. It's a crying shame. Oh, well.
I like your little adventures, Tim.
I appreciate that. I like your adventures, too.
Yeah, I've seen them all.
It's got like a goal in mind, and it's not fake, made up bullshit.
That's kind of my goal. Is, you know, I'm just trying to kind of, you know, record and preserve my writing life.
Right.
That's kind of, I guess,
Yeah.
my style in a sense.
Eventually, you're not gonna be able to ride.
Instead of trying to tell your
Yep.
story to someone, you could be like, you know what, hold on, click a couple links, and you're just like, here you go. Now I don't have to tell you. Now you see.
Yep. Well, I'm
Iron butt Texas
I'm older and I don't do fake videos or other shocking horse shit. So
Well, like that's how I am with movies and stuff too. If the plot is like so fake and far fetched, I'm just not into it. I'm more about, I don't know, I guess real kind of shit, something that could possibly actually happen, not so far fetched.
yep, I'm the same way. I like documentaries. Those are my favorite movies.
I don't know. When it comes to movies, though, I mean, you would kind of miss out. Like the Transformers is far fetched.
Yeah, I'm not into it.
Michael
Very
Bay.
interesting.
Michael Bay. Michael Bay doesn't know how to use a Dutch angle properly. Google it.
I thought you.
Google it.
Man, that's funny.
That was a rum gargle.
Well, that's how you get rid of a sore throat.
Yep. Not with rum though.
Oh, rum will work.
How many people are watching? The side chat died.
Oh yeah, we're dropped down to like 12.
Yeah, I can't even see it.
Oh well, I'm sure I did that.
No, it's just slow. It's a slow night. Yeah. I'm tired, so.
Yeah, I gotta call it too, man. I gotta actually be somewhere in 6 hours. So.
Well, we went almost.
Oh, that's plenty
we went
of
like
stuff.
3.5 hours, so that's a good hang.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's a good hangout. I had fun. Definitely enjoyed it.
I missed Red One, man. I haven't gotten to talk to him in a couple of weeks, man. I love that guy.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be back Friday. He got a good deal on the flight. That's what happened.
Yeah.
And so
Red
he was
One,
like, "Oh, gotta take
if
it."
you're listening, we love you, man.
Right?
Come to Texas, dude. Come out to West Texas. Stay at
Tim-
my house for a couple of days, man.
Tim's at the "I love you" stage.
Yeah, because I'm a loving
I know that
drunk.
stage.
I'm not a violent drunk or an angry drunk. I'm like
Yeah,
a fun.
I'm the same way.
I like to laugh and hug people when I'm drunk. That's my favorite thing. People I like.
Yeah, I get it the same way.
I know. All right. Well, if you're gonna call it, let's call it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead side chat whoever's watching. Sorry, it's a short one, but it's a long week.
It was fun though.
It was a good hangout. And don't forget, if you guys want to know when we go live again, hit that little bell button, whatever that little
Gotta hit the
bell
bell.
notification bar.
And let's
Well, now see, however, I recently watched a Chase on Two Wheels video. He was saying you gotta not only hit the bell, but after you hit the bell, you get like an extra drop-down menu, and you have to hit always.
Oh, dude.
God.
Yeah, he was like, I didn't even know about this, but it goes even further in depth.
YouTube is stupid, man.
See, you have to make the way to do it is make a little small GIF of how that works, and then you just throw that in a video every once in a while.
Right? No, that's true.
Tim's on that guitar. We gotta play a song. First, play us a little something.
You know, I'm actually starting to wonder if YouTube is like shorting their own stock.
Right?
There's a little moonlight shining on the sand. I'm drunk. There's a warm breeze blowing by the ocean as you're taking my hand. You need to know where I'm standing now. 'cause I'm right on the edge of giving in to you. Baby, it's a long way down, so if I fall, can you let me down easy? If I give my heart to you tonight, would you promise me, girl, you're gonna treat it right? Really hanging on. So if I fall, let me down easy. If I fall, can you let me down easy? Let me down easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Drunk singing. Good night, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
All right.